30 minutes of football. 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 30 minutes of football.
Welcome everyone to 30 Minutes of Football, or the Bear Their Soulz pre-show show, or whatever you want to call it. It's Daniken and me, and then in a few minutes we're going to bring in a very special guest. But first, Daniken, how are you, brother?
Man, I'm doing pretty good today, man. Not too bad. Busy day, but it's always good to be busy. You got less time to get in trouble.
I hear that. That hat is nice, man.
I appreciate that. Appreciate that.
You just get that?
No, I've had this one for about I don't know, maybe about a year and a half now. I've had it for a little while, yeah.
All right. Well, let me bring in Zim, who is backstage and came in early, and I'm glad that he did, because he's a bad mother. Shut your mouth. But I'm talking about Zim. Zim, how are you, man?
It's good, man. It's good. Just like I said, I figured I'd pop on early. Thank you guys for bringing me in. I just was planning on watching backstage.
Well, I'm glad you're here because we could get more football talk in. And then at the top of the hour, actually, Tooch texted me and said he might be a little late. So it might be us for the first hour. And then Tooch will come in, do his Bear State of Affairs. And then we're expecting Fitz to review another one of his classic restaurants. Did I load that video? Oh, I'll make sure I load it. Guys, I want to start by asking you each. I'll start with Daniken and then Zim. What is the number one thing that you're most excited about this 2025 Chicago Bears team? What is it the thing? Because I was going to start with the negative. What's the thing that most worries you? And I said, why should I go there? I want to know, what is the thing that you're most psyched about, most proud of heading into the season? Daniken, you first.
Man, I'm going to go somewhere where I don't think a lot of people will go because there's still question marks surrounding it. But the offensive line, in my opinion, I'm excited to see what the new guys like Drew Dalman, Jonah Jackson, you know what I mean, Joe Tooney, what those guys are going to do along that offensive line in the front. You got Darnell Wright, and you know people have been breaking down film and looking at some of his stuff. Darnell Wright's a beast, man. Yeah, he's really good. He's really good. He's young and he's growing into his role. You know what I mean? So we'll see how it all comes together, you might say. Braxton Jones is the oddball because everybody's wondering, you know, is he going to bounce back? Is he going to be healthy from his injury? Is he going to get better than what he was doing before? And, you know, I have a little bit of a love-hate relationship with Braxton Jones because I believe that there are some things that he does well, but there's a lot of things that he does wrong. But I think you can mask and you can cover some of the flaws in his game with everybody else on the offensive line. So I'm excited to see what the interior line does, what they're able to bring to the table, and if they're able to have a come together or they can kind of be some cohesion there. And they start playing like a unit, because the last few years have been musical chairs at the offensive line, right?
Mm-hmm.
A guy's hurt, this guy's out, he's coming in, the backup gets hurt, this guy's toe is hurt, Nate Davis situation. I mean, just all types of things that were going on with the offensive line. So now we actually have guys who are high caliber players, Pro Bowl type players, Super Bowl winners, right? And now we have those guys on the line. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do.
I love where you went, bro. That makes all of it makes a lot of sense. Sim, what do you got for me?
I mean, I'm at that point in the year where I'm just excited that football is going to be happening and then it's going to matter in like a matter of hours. It's hard to pinpoint any one particular thing because I just think that this team is not going to resemble even slightly the one that we saw last year. You know, so I think maybe the coaching staff is probably what I'm most excited for when I think about it that way. But at the same time, like, I'm excited about all the weapons that they've got on offense now. I'm excited to see what Caleb Williams does now that he's got a year in the NFL under his belt. I'm excited to see how this offensive line holds up. And I think Braxton Jones, like, being named the starter is a really good thing for him because he's only going to get better at this point, right? Like, he got hurt and he's still kind of recovering from it, which means he's only got upwards to go. And then on top of it, the defense, I think a lot of these players are going to be in a scheme that's better suited for their skills, which is kind of crazy considering that the guy who brought most of them in didn't seem to know how to use them correctly. And just as a whole, this team feels so much more like a team than it has for the last couple of years. Like, we got the vibe on Hard Knocks last year that like they were starting to learn what it was to be a team. But like this year feels different than that still. They feel a little more mature. They feel a little bit more in control. And they seem like they have one cohesive goal and vision right now. And that's what makes it all exciting. So like I say, coaching is probably the number one thing to be excited about.
I hear you 100%. Both of you guys with good answers there that I appreciate, because my wavelength is around the same place. Now, one of the things that got me excited was listening to the St. Brown podcast. I don't know if you guys caught any of it, but Roma Dunze was a guest for Amon and Equanimous. And one of the things they talked about was the meticulousness of Ben Johnson. And take a listen to this. I know some of you have heard it. Hear it again, and it's bound to get you excited.
What's the biggest difference between last year and this year? Because all you know is really your rookie year and then Ben. So, like,
Right.
culture-wise, what do you feel like is way different?
Culture-wise, I would say honestly, just the nature in which like what the coaching staff says and it's translating to players. Honestly, the biggest thing, like, and it not being like kind of like a limbo of like what we're gonna do and like an unsure like kind of approach. I feel like with Ben, it's like, no, this is what we're gonna do. This is how we're gonna do it. Like, and if it's not getting done well enough, then we're gonna have to find something else to do it. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I feel like that has been the biggest thing, and that like puts everybody in the mindset like, let me do my job like to perfection, because I know if I do that, everything's gonna be a well-rounded machine. So I think that's allowed everybody to kind of focus on their task. But yeah.
He still ain't know about, like, all the splits, everything,
Oh
huh?
yeah. Oh yeah, no, for sure. I think the first day we had like perfect plays. It was like OTAs. I went out there, and I had a +2 alignment, +2 to hash, bro. I lined up like +3, bro. Was on me. I was like, damn, bro. I'm like a yard, maybe an inch away. He's like, nah, bro.
Yeah.
Run the whole playback. So nah, he's definitely honest about all those things. But you see where it carries into,
Right.
having a successful offense for sure.
That shit working. We be in, like, we be looking back sometimes, us. I feel like we were talking about, stuff as a team. We're like, bro, Ben was really, like, super, detailed, but that shit worked, bro. We scored a hella points. Like,
For sure.
we did it. Like, that shit, you put it into action and it should be working, so.
That
No.
is so important. I'm a guy, I come from a movie production, TV production background. And when we were at our best, it was all clockwork. Everything, you got production schedules, this guy had to be here at that point. This had to be delivered here, that. I mean, everything was scheduled to the minute when we were at our best as a production team. And with football, it's the same way. The splits do matter. If you're a yard away from where you're supposed to be, it could draw defense to where the ball is going, etc., etc. This attention to detail, I don't think I've ever seen it with a Bears coaching staff. Maybe Trestman was that way, but he was not a leader of men, and Ben Johnson clearly is. Talk to me, guys, about Ben Johnson and that attention to detail and how it is infecting the rest of the team with higher standards.
Well, I mean, you see it point blank period. Like what he said in that, what Rome said in that interview speaks volumes. I mean, that's what you see across the board, though. Javon Dexter, everybody has said something about this situation and about how meticulous he is, how he knows where everybody's supposed to be. If he knows it as the coach, he expects everybody to know where they're supposed to be, right? So if he knows everybody else's situation, he's practicing what he's preaching. He's not asking you to do something and then he doesn't catch you lining up wrong. You know what I mean? He finds it. A yard off can be, I mean, it's a game of inches, man. Everybody knows that, right? So we've seen this ad nauseum several times before too. You got to think back to like last year. I think DJ ran like an out pattern or something, and he kind of faded a little bit on it. He didn't come back to the ball. that was the difference between that completion and a first down and then not being completed. So those are the things that Ben Johnson is paying strict attention to, that he's going to have his players pay attention to. And then, of course, they're going to do well because of it. Like St. Brown said, Amon-Ra St. Brown said, he said, we scored a lot of points because he was doing that stuff. And he's so attention to detail. He's so anal about this and that and the third. So, you can't help but succeed when you're really focusing on the minute things in the game.
Sam, anything you want to add to that? You're muted, by the way.
I'm just trying to think if I do have anything to add on to that. I think it was really well put there. Like, honestly, we saw it from day one with him when he pulled the offense off the field and said, you guys ain't getting it done. And, we've continued to see it every day since then. I preached a lot about accountability when he first came in and we started talking about it on the show. And, to this day, he's held up his end of the bargain on that. He's held these guys accountable. He's held them to a different standard, and he has expectations for where he wants to go with this team. That's why he made the comment that he did at the end of his press conference today.
Mm-hmm.
If he didn't believe that this team was ready to compete, he wouldn't have taken this job. Point blank.
Yeah, I agree. You want it to end up in a good spot for him. And there's all the makings here for a team that can have sustained success for 10, who knows, plus years. It's just now, I don't want to say it's completely in the player's hands, because he as a head coach has to, prove himself and get better as things go along. But certainly he has, in terms of running an offense, he has proven success, and that should immediately start to show with the Chicago Bears. Dan Brown has an interesting point here. He says, hope we can break the Monday Night Football usual Bear stinker curse. Ben does not play to lose. Danica, I see you shaking your head. You feel like the rest of Bears fans that, nationally televised games, especially Monday night, can really be painful to watch?
Man, they can be very painful to watch, and it's like the nation is focused on the Chicago Bears right there. We're already laughing stock in many ways, right? Never had a 4,000-yard passer. Constantly have change at different positions and different coaching staffs and everything like that. So we're constantly that. And then when we go out there on Monday Night Football, Sunday Night Football, primetime television, and we have these total debacles, like Thanksgiving Day game against Detroit, for instance, where you ran the clock out and kept the timeout on the scoreboard. Those are the things that happen to the Bears. And it's like a lot of us are sitting here like, man, what's going to happen to, you know what I mean? Like anything that can happen and go wrong will, because it's the Bears, right? So, we hope for some change in that. I think Ben Johnson is the guy that's going to bring some change to that, though.
Let me ask both of you guys, because both of you guys live outside Illinois, Daniken in Georgia and Zim in Iowa. Do you hear from fans in that area that perhaps are fans of other football teams, the Falcons or the Chiefs and so forth? And do they make fun of the Bears? Is it like the attitude that we have in Chicago, same old Bears? I mean, there are a lot of Bears fans who are pessimistic about any chance of the Bears doing well this season. Do you get that same sense from out-of-town fans, guys?
I'll let them go first. Yeah, go ahead.
Like, I'm in a weird melting pot, right? A lot of Packers fans, a lot of Vikings fans out here too. So, I mean, you get them talking smack just because they don't know better. I mean, at the same time, it's like, what is there to be positive about with the Bears over the last 20 years? So I understand where they're all coming from, and I kind of chalk a lot of it up, but they all kind of, I don't know. It's really weird because like they almost think I'm less of a football fan because I'm a Bears fan around here, and I think it's because from what I've gathered, a lot of Bears fans in this area are casuals. They're not the diehards that we see in Chicago. And it's just because of the atmosphere here. A lot of football fans in general, unless they're Chiefs fans, are pretty low key, I think, because college sports is what's popular out here. So it's really weird, but people are really dismissive of Bears fans here, and kind of understandably so. So, for me to be excited about it, it's like there's no one to share the excitement with. Even other Bears fans I got at work, like, yeah, they're Bears fans, but they're so casual. It's like I can't even talk to him about the team. I'm like, man, I really think that DJ Moore is going to be good this year. And they're like, yeah. He's a wide receiver, right? Allen Robinson was really good. And I'm like, what are you talking about? That was like 5 years ago, dude.
The guy that helped me create this show, he's from West Virginia, and it was the same thing with him. One of the reasons he loved being a part of the bar room is because he finally found people to talk Bears with him. Because in West Virginia, nobody gave a shit about anything. How's it in Georgia with attitudes towards the Bears?
Well, I mean, in Atlanta, it's similar to Zim. Like, it's a melting pot in Atlanta, right? So you got a lot of people that have migrated either from New Orleans, Florida, New York, Chicago. A lot of people have come to this area, right? So I'll be honest with you. If I go to a Falcons game and they're playing the Bears, the stadium is 50-50.
Oh, really?
It's 50-50. Like, literally. Like, I'm not, that's no exaggeration. It's 50-50.
Nice.
And the good thing that I can always fall back on is, I run into some of these New York fans, or, the Giants have been bad for a while, so I could poke fun at them. If I run into a Jets fan, of course I can poke fun at them. And Atlanta, all I have to do is say, you know what? What'd y'all do in the Super Bowl? You gave away a 28-3 lead. Like, you can't say nothing to me. You know what I mean? At that point. So, I have that in the back pocket. I can always pull that out against them.
I love it. I'm imagining Danik trash talking with Giants fans. I love that. So you do all that trash talking in Iowa? Every time I say the word Iowa, all I picture is like cornfields and cattle and stuff. You live in an actual town, right?
I'm in a small town. If I drive 5 minutes in any direction, we're talking cattle or livestock or corn or soy fields. I mean, I really do live pretty out in the boonies, even for Omaha. So
that's wild. Guys, of the wide receivers on this team, and primarily we're talking about DJ Moore, Rome Odunze, those two guys, who do you think is going to get the most targets this year and therefore probably the most yards? Because I'm kind of leaning a little bit towards Rome Odunze being the guy this year. And he's going to get a lot of targets, and he's going to touch the ball out of the backfield and running with the ball. So he might have more total yards for scrimmage, but as a receiver, what do you think, Danikin?
I'm gonna probably go with I'm gonna step on the ledge and say DJ Moore is probably gonna get the majority of them. I think when you have a guy like that, he's done it. He's produced at so many different stops along the way to Chicago, right? And he's produced with inferior, terrible quarterback play, right? He's had some horrible quarterbacks when he was in Carolina after Cam Newton was out of there, right? So I tend to think DJ Moore is probably going to be the guy that gets a lot of it. Rome will probably surpass him, in my opinion, next year. Rome had 900 yards last year, I think it was, something like that.
Rome had, I think, 800, something like that. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So, I mean, I think it's going to be a step up for him. I think they'll have two 1,000-yard receivers, believe it or not, in both DJ and Rome. But it's so many targets out there. I just, because the Bears, they got a lot of weapons, bro. So it's hard to say this guy's going to catch 100 balls. I don't think they get that many. I think Rome probably gets around 85 to 90, and maybe DJ comes right at 100, 101, 102, something like that. But you won't see anybody going out there getting Brandon Marshall type numbers, in my opinion. I don't think.
Zim, why don't you answer that question? Continue the dialogue with Danik, and I'm going to jump off and check my connection because I'm freezing up a bit here. So you guys continue on.
Sure. Yeah, I think Odunze can definitely challenge for the number one spot. My question is more, how's the usage going to be? Because as I've said multiple times on this show already, I think that DJ Moore is going to be the primary weapon in the offense. You know what I mean? Like, he's going to get the ball fed to him a little bit. And something that we've seen already through the preseason with Ben Johnson is he has plays for players. You know, he doesn't really have plays without intent. So because of that, you know, the ball's going to be spread around, I think. And the reason I can see Rome challenging is because he's got more of that separate breakaway speed, whereas DJ Moore's a yards after the catch kind of guy,
Yeah.
you know? So, I mean, granted, Rome is very good at yards after the catch as well. The point being here, though, that I think that DJ has to have the ball in his hands to make a play, whereas Rome can make a play without the ball in his hands. And that's where, like, he can separate, he can get those extra couple yards before he catches the ball. And he's also so good with those late hands, man. He's going to earn, you know, an extra catch a game, basically, just with late hands.
Mhm.
And we saw it last year already. He is so late with his hands. I love that. It's actually, you know, not to take too hard of a shot at the team up north, but since they've been in the news all week, Matthew Golden, I think, telegraphs his hands before he catches the ball. I mean, that guy's got his hands up before a catch 10 yards before the ball gets to him. And I think in the NFL, like, that's going to let a lot of DBs get their head around on him. And
Yeah.
it's something that Rome does so well, where he gets those late hands up, and it's what allows him to make these sideline catches that he does. And again, I'm kind of talking myself into this, but at the same time, like I said in the beginning, I think it's very possible for him to kind of slightly edge out DJ Moore, but I still think DJ Moore will probably get the lion's share of the targets and touches. You know, going alongside that, though, who else in that wide receiver room is really going to separate themselves? Because, I mean, they've got three really good guys behind them, and then Devin Duvernay, who's a top end burner. So
Yeah. I think Zacchaeus is really good too. You know, you saw some of the stuff that he did in preseason and in camp. For me, Zacchaeus, I'm not a proponent of guys that are small. Like wide receivers, I want them to be bigger. I want them to be fast. If you're really small and you're slow, then that's a problem for me. He's not slow at all. That's number one. And he plays so much bigger than what he is. Like he's a smaller guy, but he doesn't look small on the football field. He looks huge. So, in my opinion, I think he'll have a decent year as well. Luther Burden, he'll come along as well. They'll pull him along. But I think Zacchaeus is solidified at the number 3. I think DJ Moore, Rome Odunze, it's a really good problem to have when you're sitting here saying who's going to be the better wide receiver or who's going to put the more numbers up, right? Who's going to put more numbers up? That's a great problem to have. The only reason I take DJ Moore is because I believe that he can do more on the football field than Rome does. Rome is contested catches. He can get deep. He can burn you, things like that, of course, right? He's physical. But DJ Moore is physical. He can run deep. He can burn you. He can run you over when he gets the ball. I just think in Ben Johnson's offense, there are going to be more opportunities for him to get his hands on the ball, get the ball to him, and let the playmakers make plays, right? So while Rome is probably the better deep threat, maybe he's the better sideline catcher of the ball and things like that, I just think DJ Moore – in this type of offense, what they're wanting Caleb to do is get the ball out quick, and that's get the ball to your playmakers and let them play make, right? Let them make plays, and that's what DJ Moore does better than most in the NFL.
Yeah, the reason I wanted to ask you guys that question was because Ben Johnson said that this is the one thing that keeps him up at night.
Sharing the wealth. You know, that's what keeps me up at night, is trying to make sure that all of our horses are fed, because these guys, I mean, they're super talented players, and we just need to get them a little space and the ball in their hands, and they can make big things happen. And so, you know, I've been pretty transparent to them in the spring and so far in camp that if you're active on game day, we're going to have a role for you. We'll have some jobs for you, and then how big that is really dictated on how well you practice and really your track record going up into the week.
And once again, he's got a great solution to it. Show me that you want it, you know, no block, no rock, but good practices and so forth, and that's how the ball is going to get distributed. Seems to be has caught everyone's attention on this team. They're all buying into it. And so hopefully victories will come right away because, you know, based on what I saw last year with some of these players, you know, some of them like were ready to jump ship last year, and you could probably say they did. And I'd hate to see that happen in Ben Johnson's rookie year. Everyone has to stay together. And I'm going to say it for the 100th time. The fans have to stay together. We cannot start harping on this team if we get off to a slow. I know it's important to get off to a fast. It's going to take a little while for the team to, be consistently good at offense and defense, special teams, some hiccups along the way. Then the coaching staff have been warning us about that. There's going to be some hiccups there. Let's pay attention to that. But I'm still feeling really, really hopeful about what is going to transpire Monday night against the Vikings. You guys have any? I know we got a lot of football left to talk, but you guys started studying the Vikings Bears matches, and if so, what are you seeing?
I have to say that Vikings defensive line looks really good. None of the rest of the defense does, to me. I am not afraid of that defense even a little bit. They are young, aside from Harrison Smith. They are relatively unknown, which, I mean, hey, sometimes those guys got a lot to prove and they go out there and they get after it, But I don't see it in their roster. Granted, I haven't for about 5 years. And they keep performing way better than the Bears. So, I've said from the get-go, I don't like their GM. I don't like the way that he handles business. I was very glad that the Bears did not hire him, but he's created success up north. So it just goes to show, I think I let too much of my bias come into play when I look at the Vikings. It's easy to do as a Bears fan because they're the little brothers, the Lions and the Vikings have always been the little brothers of the division, and their trophy cabinets are proof of that, so it's so hard to analyze them accurately from my standpoint because I never believe in those teams. Never.
It's like the Lions are the Lions. That's what we've always heard, right? They're going to lion at some point and they're going to do what they do.
Whether it's an 0-16 season or throwing up one of the worst stinkers, one of the worst quarterback performances maybe we've ever seen in an NFC championship game,
Exactly.
So
exactly. Yeah. I mean, I look at this Minnesota team though, and I'm not afraid of them, right? I think the biggest thing in this game, going into this game, the biggest thing that I think the Bears should do is throw the kitchen sink at JJ McCarthy. He's essentially a rookie, right? And yeah, he's got weapons on the outside. You got Thielen, you got Justin Jefferson, you got Adam Jones, and we know what Adam Jones does because he's torched us, in Chicago for years now. But at the end of the day, I think you throw the kitchen sink at him. I think you bring blitzes, you put high grits on him, and you see how he responds to it. Because at the end of the day, I don't care if he's studied, and he's studied. I'm sure he knows the playbook well and everything like that. But at the end of the day, it is his first real game action because he was out all last year. So establish dominance. That's what I want to see the Bears do, right? Like destroy his confidence. That's what I think that you can do, and he knows that, hey, for the next 8 to 10 years, you're going against Chicago and we're gonna put this on you every single time. You know what I mean? And that's how you mess up somebody's psyche. Their psychological, you get a psychological advantage of them on the football field. That's how you do it. We've had it done to us.
Yeah. I think one of the times we first met, we got to know each other a little bit. I think I mentioned to you that when I played basketball, I was a foul machine, and it was out of necessity because I wasn't as nimble-footed as other guys. And sometimes, I was just a second late, so I was going to clobber them. I wasn't very popular, but
nothing easy, man.
Exactly. Nothing easy. That's what I would say. I say, come in. I'd be in the lane. Come in here at your own risk. Be yelling at the opposition. But my point in bringing that up is, do you see any value in a late hit not to maim somebody, but I'm saying old school football where you are intimidating people and you're stretching the rules as far as you think they can possibly go. Again, not with the intention of hurting somebody, but with the intention of striking fear. Are you of that school?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Now I'm not of the school of intentionally hurting somebody, right? So it's not like a headshot, helmet to helmet stuff.
Right.
But yeah, if I get it, I will take a cheap shot on somebody if I need to, right? Like knock him out, he's out of bounds. Make sure you step on him, you know what I mean? Step and push him out of bounds or whatever. Get your hands on him. Something. You got to do something. Even if it's just by accident. I've done it playing basketball. One of the favorite things that I used to have to do was if I'm guarding somebody and somebody wants to run around me, I stick my knee right into their thigh. It's by accident, but it lets you know that I'm there. You know what I mean? And that knee is going to hurt the thigh every single time. Right?
Every single time.
So the next time he's not going to be as quick on his first step. So it's little things like that you can do in a football game, and that a lot of players do it. You know what I mean? This is not foreign language. We know it. We know what it is. There is no intent to hurt anybody, but it is some intimidation and some tactics that you use to let people know that, hey, I'm here. It's going to be a long day for you.
Yeah. Zen, while you were away, we were talking about, stretching the rules a little bit and being aggressive, not to the where you want to hurt somebody, but you want to let them know that we're in for a dog fight, that this is not going to be a flag football. Are you of that same mindset? And do you endorse the Bears, playing?
Yeah, I mean, the easiest way to do that is just establish a run game early. Like that is within the rules, and it shows that you're ready to push them around. You get that run game going, you show you're not afraid to get your hands on them, play your kind of defense, or play your kind of game. And then not only that, where does Caleb Williams operate best under center right now? Play action. So what does that open up for you? It opens up play action for the whole rest of the game. If you start that game with a good running attack, and that's, you have to stick with it is the thing. And we saw it way too much with both Nagy and Eberflus, where the run game doesn't work, so they just abandon it. And I really hope that Ben Johnson is smart enough not to do that, because it's the easiest way to legally get your hands all over them, put them in their place, and show them this is our game. And on top of it, you can do the same thing on defense by just playing Dennis Allen's style of football. Send that blitzer, send that extra guy, let them know you're going to put your hand on that quarterback. And honestly, the way you do it within the rules too, you guys are talking about getting that little extra something in there. It's the same thing. Just get in there. You don't even have to hit him. You just put your hands on him and say, hey, I'm right here. So, you throw that ball 1 second later and I'm right here. So, and again, you come around that edge, you just clap him right on the shoulder pad. It's completely legal. You're not going to get in any trouble for it. And he now knows, oh shit, he's right there. Yeah. That's how you get a guy seeing ghosts. Yeah. And it's going to be real easy to shake this quarterback. JJ McCarthy is going to be playing his first NFL game. He's going to be playing in a system that's probably a little over his head, to be completely honest, just because, that's Kevin O'Connell's system. Granted, he does have 2 years in it, so we'll see, or, a year. This is his second year in it, right. Which is a bigger advantage than Caleb Williams has. So, I mean, we'll see if that plays any advantage to him. But at the same time, I mean, they're going to find one thing that works and try to keep doing it the whole game, because that's how JJ McCarthy's entire college career went. They found one thing that worked and didn't deviate, period. So I don't expect them to do anything differently in the NFL with him, because that's how he operates best. And at the same time, if that's what you're doing, Dennis Allen's going to pick it apart. You keep throwing the same thing at Dennis Allen over and over and over again, he's going to figure out how to stop it over the 4 quarters.
Yeah. The only problem about JJ McCarthy, I disagree a little bit. I don't think we got a full glimpse of what he was in college.
I don't think so.
Jim Harbaugh is just so stuck on running the ball, especially in college, right? He's going to run, he's going to pound the ball. They won a natty with it, right? But JJ McCarthy didn't throw the ball hardly at all, right? And so I think he's more talented than what people give him credit for. And so that worries me a little bit that we don't have tape on him. But at the same time, what I said, establish the dominance, man. Throw the kitchen sink at him and let people go to work. Let them know that, hey, we're here, blah blah blah, and you'll see what he's made of. And if you demolish somebody the first 2 or 3 times you play them, they got a monkey on their back at that point, right? That's what the Bears had with Aaron Rodgers and all of that for years and years and years, right? There's a monkey on our back. We couldn't get it off. And that's what you can do to a guy who's young, who's going into his first game. He's on the road in Soldier Field. I mean, utilize all of that stuff and make him feel it. Make him understand what the rivalry is, what everything, this is a black and blue division. Let's make it that. Straight up.
And I really think if they can find some way to get either Brisker, Gordon, or Edmonds running free at the quarterback, like in that first drive of the game, that's going to get in his head real quick.
Yeah.
Specifically, if you can get Edmonds coming straight through the middle, right? That's a 6'4" man just coming straight at you. That's terrifying.
Yeah.
Well, and one of the things that I love about the fact that Grady Jarrett is with the team is because he is a trash talker. I think everybody has seen that clip of him talking trash to Jordan Love, because Jordan Love actually started talking trash first. And, the Bears need guys like that who are going to talk the trash and then work really, really hard at backing it up. That to me has been missing. At least maybe there were some trash talkers, but they weren't successful with backing it up as often as I would like to see. And I think we're finally there. Danigan, you talked about the offensive line as being one of the things that you're most interested in, and that you're more positive, especially the middle of the offensive line. I feel the same way about this defensive line. I really do believe that Gervon Dexter, if he's completely healthy, because in that last preseason game, I think he was dinged up a little bit. And if he's completely healthy, he can have a breakthrough season. And a big reason for that is going to be Grady Jarrett's presence, pushing him and giving him tips and so forth. And that inside pass rush is going to just open things up for Montez and Deo on the ends.
Yep, you're right, and that's a big thing, man. If you can really bring somebody like Gervon Dexter along, like Grady Jarrett is going to be wonderful for his development, right? Teaching him how to go about the business of being a defensive tackle in the NFL. There's a lot of nuances to playing on the defensive line, stunts that you got to run, all these different things, gaps that you got to control. A lot of people don't understand that. Casual fans, and it's frustrating to me because you play football and you understand the game, and sometimes you come across casual fans. It's like, oh, the guy doesn't get sacks, or blah blah blah, this and third, and it's like, do you understand the role of interior defensive lineman? What Zim was talking about, Tremaine Edmonds or TJ Edwards being able to run through straight at a quarterback, that's because they're occupying the guards and the centers. So the defensive tackles are so large and so behemoths, right? That they occupy everything up front. And then you get your linebackers that can shoot gaps and run through the line and get free runs at a quarterback or a running back or so on and so forth. That's what they do. They're space eaters sometimes. So it's not always about how many sacks you get or tackles you get. It's about you controlling what you do, your role on the football team, and doing your job so that the other guy can do his job. You see what I'm saying?
Sure.
A lot of people don't see that, though.
Yeah, it's about the defensive line football in this era of football is more about disruptions and messing up timing and tipping balls and creating turnovers and stuff, because with 50% of the plays that offenses are running, it's impossible to get a sack because they're getting rid of the ball so quickly. It's snap the ball, 1 foot back, fire. It's impossible unless you're totally unblocked to get a sack.
Mhm.
And so it's about disruptions. And in that middle of the line, Daniken, it's been that way for a lot of years. Is clog up that line, keep those offensive linemen off the linebackers so that they can make their blocks and give them a lane. And J2K is right. Dennis Allen is not a guy that's going to blitz often, but when he does, which is 15 to 20% of the game, we want it to be highly effective, and he's going to do a lot of disguising. And so guys that look like they're going to be blitzing may or may not, or a defensive lineman may back up into coverage, and the linebacker is going, because he wants to try to, like most defensive coordinators nowadays, they want to try to create pressure with just 4 guys.
Mhm.
Speaking of pressure, how concerned are you guys about Caleb handling the Brian Flores defense and the exotic looks and so forth? Zim, what do you think?
Not as worried as I was last year. This offensive line is in much better shape. Caleb has proven that he's been much better at identifying the blitzes this preseason and throughout the season. Last year, he knows what he needs to do. I think he just is still a little slow to process it. So I don't know. It's hard to say for sure, but I'm not, like I say, I'm not as concerned as I was with last year's situation, but at the same time, I need to see the game. I really do, because I don't know that he's completely figured it all out. He is getting better. He is learning. But I don't think is fully there. So
yeah, I would agree with that. He's definitely not. What do you think, Danica?
I think of course he's not fully there. He's still got a lot of things that he's learning, and Ben Johnson is working with him on a lot of different things, right? Getting rid of the ball. I think the biggest thing for him, well, I'm gonna say this. I'm not as concerned with him being like bamboozled by or confused by what Brian Flores is going to do, right? I think in the 2 games that he's played against Brian Flores' defense, he's thrown for close to 600 yards, right?
Yes.
Not bad, not terrible numbers, right? So
right.
when you look at it in that perspective, it's like, okay, I'm cool with what he did last year. Build on it, right? Build on it. Just start faster. That's all I want him to do, is start faster, not get working or growing later in the game. So that means you have to get him in a rhythm, right? And if he doesn't get in a rhythm, I think Caleb will revert back to holding the ball, trying to be Superman, running around in the backfield, doing things that he shouldn't be doing, that you can't do in the NFL. So get him in a rhythm, let it have some success in the beginning with the run game, play action pass. If he gets in a rhythm, then he'll stay in that rhythm and he'll stay in that mode. But if you got a 3 and out, you get a first down, then you go another 3 downs and you're out again, and he starts off kind of slow, then he'll revert back to some of the things that are less desirable.
Exactly. This is Caleb talking about Flores' defense.
Being able to understand that there's going to be a wrinkle with Flores, and understanding that when that happens, it's a wrinkle every single week for every single team, and trying to put his team and his defense in an advantageous position, and so being able to adjust to those and be level-minded throughout the whole game is really important. And then from there, once you adjust, it's being able to go out there and execute, and even when things aren't in our favor, and maybe the first quarter, second quarter, whatever the case may be, in that sense of we haven't adjusted fully yet, is being able to still execute our base plays and get positive yards, positive gain, keep us on the field, and not have negative plays.
It's funny. I always check to see what the body language is of players. I've done it since I think since I was a kid. Be looking at guys on the sideline and see how they're acting. But this year, I'm going to be especially focused on that because Ben Johnson has come in. He noticed that was a problem last year. There was bad body language, and Caleb, lying down on the bench, and DJ walking off the field and so forth. I'm going to be watching for that because when there is adversity, there's only one way to climb back out of it, and that is by having a fighting spirit as opposed to a defeatist attitude. And that's one of the key things that I'll be watching for this team moving forward. I want to play one more soundbite regarding Caleb and the Vikings. This is Coach Ben Johnson on Caleb pressing.
I think that's why the preparation, what it looks like on the field, is so important. I think we'll have a real good feel as a coaching staff what we're going to get out of Caleb on Monday night with how he approaches the next few days, and it's gonna help dictate how I call the game as well. You know, how much we put the ball on really in his hands and on his shoulders to carry us through, or you know, it's everybody on this offense is going to have to carry the load at some point here this game. You talked about all the one-on-ones up front with our O-line, but I think our backs got to hold up in protection. Our tight ends got to be involved. Our receivers have to be physical. I mean, it's everybody here. So we'll see over the course of the week what that looks like. But, you know, I think since I became a coach, that's really I go in early in the week, and, man, I have a lot of concerns about what it's going to look like on game day, and, man, I don't know if this is going to work, blah, blah, blah. But by the time we get to the end of the week, I usually have a high degree of confidence in our guys because of how they've gone about their business, and I already feel that right now with this crew. I think we had a great meeting this morning. We had a really good walkthrough just a little while ago, and now we'll put it on the field here today.
I thought that was, again, so transparent. You know, he's going to keep an eye on Caleb to see how he responds to stuff this week, and that's going to determine how much they're going to put on his shoulders.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't know, at least here in Chicago, I don't know if we've ever had a coach. You know, maybe Ditka back in the 80s and 90s, you know, he would say stuff about players called Richard Dent Robert and Jim McMahon, you know, like getting into stuff. But, you know, he's doing it in a professional way, but he's just he's just letting people know, you know, this we're all in this together, and you gotta carry your weight. If not, you're not gonna be the leader, or you're not going to be the star of this team like you want to be. So it's really a different attitude here in Chicago. Amazing.
It's nice to see it. It's refreshing, right? This is what we've been begging for years now, right? A coach that is all in, that is really demanding, that wants excellence, and not only does he just get up there and he's transparent, right? He's so transparent. He's going to tell you exactly what it is. It doesn't matter what's going on. He's going to tell you exactly what it is. Mm-hmm. And the thing about this is that I took from it is that there's a constant evaluation. It's every day. It's through tape, watching tape. It's through practice. It's through, you know, your workouts. It's evaluating going on all the time. A lot of coaches don't do that. A guy will install his game plan, and no matter what, he's going to stick to that game plan. Ben Johnson says it's going to dictate, you know, how you react and what you're doing during a week is going to dictate how I call this game. Mm-hmm. And that's good to hear, because that's a coach that has several different ways of going about winning, not just one way, right? You look at Matt Nagy, for instance, and you draw the comparison. There was just one way, do it this way, and let's do it this way. There was no changing. There was no, you know, evolving. There was no, you know, changing, you know, from half to half. There was just, let's run it. And he's putting guys in bad positions. The coach's job is to put them in a position to win. Mm-hmm. So if you know your guy is lacking this week in this area, I'm not going to ask him to do that. So now we're gonna adjust, and we're gonna lean upon somebody else because he had a bad week of practice. Yep. You see what I'm saying? So that's the sign of a good coach, man. I like that. I love hearing that from him.
That was one of the things that Ben Johnson talked about before the Kansas City game. He was asked about Andy Reid, and one of the compliments he gave him is that he changes the offense with the times. And God bless Lovie Smith, because he took us to a Super Bowl. But one of the things that I hated when he would say is, we will not deviate from our plan. I'm like, dude.
You have to sometimes.
Then you're
Yeah.
not gonna win.
People catch up with your plan. You got to change it a little bit. God bless
That's-
Lovey. I love them.
That's why we had Rex Grossman so long, right?
Exactly.
Rex
Rex
is my
Grossman is our quarterback. Indeed. Zim, any thoughts on our new coach and how he handles business?
I like it. You know, he's an accountable guy. He doesn't seem like a rookie by any means. You know, PC put it in the chat, and I've been thinking it all week. Like, he keeps handling his business. He keeps doing a great job. He knows how he wants to build this thing, and he's not backing down from it. It's part of the reason why, like, I have such high levels of confidence for this season is I really believe that Ben Johnson understands. You know, you guys talk about not changing the plan, not deviating, like, and that's exactly what it is. Matt Nagy wanted to write a book. He wanted to write a story, whereas Ben Johnson is doing a choose your own adventure book. You know, he's flipping to page 58 and then back to page 12 and then all the way up to 75 for the next one. And, you know, he's all over the board because sometimes that's what you got to do. Like, you have to constantly be adapting for the situation. It's like driving to work, man, and saying, like, I'm driving the speed limit and stopping at all the red lights and only going at green lights and using my turn signal. And then you get into traffic and it's like, well, the guy in front of you going 5 miles an hour below, or, hey, there's a huge Dodge Ram riding my ass. I'm going to speed up a little bit so that he can pass me. Or, you know, it's like you have to adapt to the situation. Like, if everybody, like, it's just one of those things. If you never change your mindset, if you never change the way that you go about things, like, you don't grow, you don't change. And it's like he's taking a life situation and applying it to football in a way that a lot of really good coaches do, where these things, and they say, look, man, like, it's just football. You just have to do the things that you're already doing in a football way.
Yeah.
And that's what he's done, and it's working. And it's because he's doing the thing that Nagy couldn't figure out how to do, even though he preached it, which is keeping it simple. Like, it really is. It's as simple as do it. No, do it. No, you're not doing it. Do it.
Exactly. Exactly. Guys, we are 50 minutes into the show. Johnny Sanuchi should be joining us pretty soon for his Bears State of Affairs and more Bears talk. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play our usual open. It's 5 minutes long. That gives Zim a chance to check in on his kids, Danikin and I to take a piss, and you guys to enjoy the open that has been getting lots of compliments, and I really, really appreciate it. Let's see if I can find it here. I think here it is.
I think Ben, I've said it multiple times. I think he's been great for me. He's pushed me, but he also, like I've said many times, he's a teacher, and he'll be persistent until you get it.
There's no reason why we can't win this year.
This is Bear Their Soulz.
The following is rated TV MALSV. It contains strong language, violence, and nudity. It is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
Can you shut the fuck up?
Speak. Fuck! Good boy.
If you and DJ had a baby, it would be Luther Burden.
When you fuck up, excuse my language. There's a Chicago Bears podcast. Unlike most others.
To the end zone. Touchdown! Roma Dunze!
Three guys on the broadcast are a lot like brothers. This is Bear Their Soulz. Uncensored, no controls. This is Bear Their Soulz.
US goes down in Bears territory.
With three likable labels.
Gets away from Van Ginkel. Still under pressure. Floats it down the sideline. And somehow Swift.
Let's go! This is Bear Their Soulz. Uncensored and no control.
This is going to be innocent.
This is Bear Their Soulz. With 3 lockable a-holes. This is Bear Their Soulz. This is Bear Their Soulz. Bear Their Soulz.
4 in for a Chicago touchdown. Oh, look at the pressure. That time it's Montez.
We have a lot of lofty goals. We're trying to win the Super Bowl.
I've been growing since Ben's been here.
We're going to be ready to go when it's time to go. We got some dogs on this team. Being able to have guys that can play any type of role is just, exciting as a defense,
We got a damn good head coach here. A damn good head coach. I'm just telling you. I know what they look like. I've been around.
You have to pay the toll. You have to pay the price. It's a privilege to be on this defense.
Welcome to Bear Their Souls. I guess, I don't know if this is the official open. We're working it out. But with me is Danikin, Zimmerman, and Johnny Santucci joined us in the background. He should be getting set for his Bear State of Affairs any minute. Guys, before we bring Tooch in, I would love for you guys to heap praise on me for that fantastic open.
Hey, man.
I saw you. Danikin is like,
hey. Yeah, man. Yeah. It's one of the best openings. I mean, it's long, but you pay attention to the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's awesome. The clips, the cut-ups, the music, everything, it gets you amped for what we're about to talk about. And that's the purpose of it, man. Shout out to you for doing that. That
Thank you.
video is awesome.
Thank you. One of the things that I'm going to do is change some of the lyrics and add in some new clips as the season goes on. So hopefully by next week, we'll see some of the changes that I have planned for it. Zim, you've got a special song for us planned that we'll share a little later. You want to tease it for us?
Yeah, I mean, I went back and forth a lot on what style to do for this one. I couldn't decide if I wanted to do Viking metal or if I wanted to do like sort of a Prince kind of feel. I figured, well, I mean, we get 2 games against the Vikings this year. I'm going to go with Viking metal for this one. So I'll look forward to that later. And, for the next one, we'll see if that changes. Probably will. Not going to lie, guys. Not going to lie. I feel like I really slapped this one together. So feel free to be harsh on me for it because, I don't think it's my best work. I'll be completely honest with you.
Well, it's funny that you say that. First of all, I want to ask Danikin, do you know what Viking metal is? Have you heard it? Are you familiar with that genre?
I haven't heard it, but I'm looking forward to it. So,
well, when he sent me the music this afternoon, I listened to it and I said, oh, this is pretty good. And then I started to visualize it, so I had to hear it over and over and over again. This fucking song, I might have to go take a piss while it's on.
It's long. Viking metal is notorious for that.
Yeah,
and
I didn't shorten it at all, so it's in the original format that you gave
How
me.
long did that break out to? Like
almost 4 minutes.
I want to say, yeah.
Yes.
Look, I'll tell you guys this point blank. I am notorious for long songs. Like, you guys got to get used to it. It's week 1. I'm warning you now. I am notorious for writing 3.5, 4 minute songs. Like, on the button. I swear to goodness. I cannot write a short song for the life of me. If I try to write a short song, it comes out to be like a minute. And if I try to write a normal song, it comes out to like 3.5, 4 minutes. It's like, I can't, I don't know. You know, The Who, Pete Townsend and Roger Daltrey always preached about, like, you know, your rock song should be 2 minutes and 50 seconds, 2 minutes and 50 seconds, 2 minutes and 50 seconds. That's how you write a hit. I'm like, I don't know how they did it. I don't know how they did it. I can't do it.
I'm telling you, I grew up with Motown, and that was the same thing with Berry Gordy and his Motown Hitsville, USA. He had short clips with strong choruses, and man, that made a huge impact on me. Foster Cover says, "Piss, Aldo, go out your front door," and that's an inside joke there, Danik. And I had a bunch of guys here. What was it, 2 years ago, and they came in from all over the country, including Mr. Shorty. And Mr. Shorty, when he left the house to go home, he stopped off at my bushes and took a piss. I didn't know he had until my wife, who was out of town, got home the next morning, and she's checking the Ring, all the videos on Ring. And then she goes to me, "Who's that taking a piss in our lawn?" I'm like, "Holy shit."
Ay, Dios mío.
Yes, indeed. That's my wife.
I thought you were going to say it was like a dog. Like, you know how dog piss in the yard and it's like a little yellow spot there. And it changes the grass color. I thought Mr. Shorty did that to your bushes or something.
No, actually, the bushes do look a little brown since then. All right, I think Senor Tooch is ready to rock and roll. Let me bring him in here, and let's see, what camera should we use? There he is. Tooch, how are you, brother?
What up, Tooch?
Unmute.
Oh. Oh.
What T-shirt do you got on? What's that say?
Hey, that's giving away part of Bear State of Affairs.
Oh, can't do that.
My hope.
Is that the theme for tonight's Bear State of Affairs?
Yeah, kicking off the season with some hope.
I like it.
I've been accused of being too negative, Aldo.
By who? Your wife?
Oh, we'll get into it in Bear State of Affairs.
Well, why don't we get straight into it? Bear State of Affairs. We always start off with this little jingle, and it goes like this.
It's time for John's Bears State of Affairs. He got nothing but truth bombs about the Bears. He tells it like it is and always has, with no agenda, just a little pizza. Sit back, light it up, and crack open a beer. It's time for John's Bears State of Affairs. State of Affairs. It's time for John Bears State of Affairs. State of Affairs. It's time for John's Bears State of Affairs. State of Affairs. It's time for John's Bears State of Affairs.
All right, yeah, Bears State of Affairs, man. About ready to kick off Bears 2025 season week 1. What's happening, Bearflies? Woo! Yeah, Bears will kick off their 2025 NFL campaign next Monday night at home against the Vikings. Woo-hoo! Yeah. Yeah, the Bears are catching the Vikings at just the right time, Aldo.
Oh, my
Yeah,
goodness.
Vikings star wide receiver Justin Jefferson. He's been sidelined for much of the preseason as he recovers from a hamstring strain that occurred at the beginning of training camp. Yeah, while Jefferson has participated in practice recently, the Vikings superstar receiver's latest injury update is concerning.
I love it.
Yeah, not only for the season opener against the Bears, but also beyond. Yeah, according to Minnesota Star Tribune's Ben Gosling, quote, Jefferson's hamstring injury isn't expected to impact his play, but he could require, quote, long-term maintenance on his hamstring in practice as a precaution. Yeah, not only that, but the other star wide receiver on the Vikings, Jordan Addison, he's suspended for the first 3 games of the season for violating the NFL's substances of abuse policy.
That's a W.
Yeah, catching him at just the right time. I'm telling you, the suspension, that's a result of Addison pleading no contest in his DWI case from July 2024 when he was found asleep at the wheel of his vehicle blocking a lane of traffic near the LA airport.
Jesus. God.
Yeah, well, the
Everybody else.
Woo-hoo, fire alarm. Woo. Yeah, only Bears native affairs will bring you that. Yeah. Well, as I said, the Bears are catching the Vikings at just the right time. Yeah, Vikings quarterback J.J. McCarthy, he missed the entire 2024 season after suffering a torn meniscus in his right knee in last year's training camp. Yeah.
Tough audience.
Yeah, so essentially, yeah, the crowd's going wild. This is McCarthy's rookie season. Yeah, but the Vikings thought enough of the young quarterback to let last season's starting quarterback Sam Darnold leave in free agency after his career year with the Vikings. Yeah, but the big news this week, well, it wasn't about the Vikings. Yeah, the Packers trading for Cowboys star pass rusher Micah Parsons. Yeah, this trade was reminiscent of the Bears' blockbuster trade with the Raiders for Khalil Mack in 2018. Only thing different, Aldo? Yeah, the Bears traded for a healthy pass rusher.
That's good.
Yeah, thank you, Brock, for the assist. Yeah, well, you know,
he's still wearing his cowboy helmet, I noticed.
Yeah, that's what I hope we'll see when the Bears play the Packers. Yeah, but it looks like they bought some damaged goods. Old Jerry Jones, the NFL's resident snake oil salesman. Yeah, looks like he pulled a fast one on the Packers, Daniken. Yeah, I'm old enough to remember when the Bears Twitter wanted to break the bank for Parsons. Yeah,
No.
good thing we didn't, Zim. Yeah, could you imagine? Just imagine if Ryan Poles traded 2 first-round picks, then paid $188 million for an edge rusher that needs epidural shots to play through his back injury.
Ambulance is coming. That's the ambulance.
Woohoo! Yeah, Bears fans, they'd be up at Hallis Hall with torches and pitchforks and foaming at the mouth, Aldo.
Yes, they would.
Man, I love it when Bears State Affairs gets a chance to throw some shade at the Packers. Woohoo! Yeah, but it's not like the Bears don't have problems of their own.
Oh, no.
Here it comes.
I was afraid of this.
Yeah, the team is banged up at edge rusher, banged up at running back, banged up at safety, and banged up at quarterback. But I'm wearing the shirt, Aldo.
Hope.
At hope. Yeah. Yeah, that's all I've got, though, because to me and to lots of Bears fans, this team is nearly a complete mystery. Yeah, I don't know whether the Bears are closer to the team that beat the Bills 38-0 in the second preseason game, or the team that nearly fell behind 3 touchdowns against the Chiefs in the final preseason game. It was only yesterday, Aldo, when the Bears finally decided on who their starting left tackle would be. Don't go there. Too soon.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, the Bears announced yesterday that veteran Braxton Jones will start at left tackle for the Bears on Monday, dispelling all notions of panic, Aldo. I think.
You think?
Yeah, Bears fans remember Jones suffered a season-ending fractured fibula in December of 2024, but battled back heroically to win the Bears' starting left tackle job in the preseason, beating out this guy.
The Canadian Eagle.
Yeah. Yeah, you can go ahead and blame me for being negative. I just call them like I see them. I'm used to all the slings and arrows for the keyboard warriors of social media.
That guy been bothering you again?
There was a couple. There was one of them at Sunday's tailgate show. I think this is him.
It looks like him.
Throwing some shade at old Tooch. Yeah, but you know what, Aldo? I'm not this guy. Yeah, I love my team, but I can't help being a realist at times.
I want them to go 17-0.
I do too. I think we're a few years away from that. So.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, but I've got questions about this Bears team. Questions like, will the pass rush be there? Yeah, will the pass rush be there, man? And will the team struggle to learn Ben Johnson's offense? And the most important question of all, is Caleb Williams the quarterback to lead this team to a Super Bowl? Yeah. This is from Morpheus. There's an enormous amount of pressure on this team. I've talked about it here more than a few times. I heard the guys talking about it just a few minutes ago.
Yes, indeed.
Enormous amount of pressure here. Yeah, the pressure to win in the NFL is enormous. Yeah, but Caleb Williams, he's got the right idea. He's got the right mindset.
8 Super Bowls?
Yeah.
He said that?
He wants to win 8 Super Bowls this season. Hey, it could be a bumpy ride, although there's going to be ups and downs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This season the Bears will face 11 of the top pass rushers in the NFL. Look at this. This is from some account called Barroom Network. How about that?
Oh, I know that guy. He's awesome.
I heard about them. Yeah. I think it's best. Oh, yeah, that's a lot of pass rushers. Pass rush pressure. We don't want to see a repeat of last season, Aldo.
No. Oh,
no. Yeah, I think it's best. If we put our trust in Ben Johnson, this is the best coaching staff the Bears have had in a long time, and that's going to count for a lot.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's time to go into battle with no regrets. No regrets, Aldo! That's Bears state of affairs, brothers.
Nicely done.
He told it like it is and always will. Listen next week to get an earful of whatever's happening with the Chicago Bears. It always happens here with John's state of affairs. If you have to disagree, he's got a decree. Go fuck your fist cause you're on his blacklist. You just heard the bare truth right here and now. John gave it to you straight cause he's got no sacred cows. If you have to disagree, he's got a decree. Go fuck your fist cause you're on his blacklist. This was John's Bear State of Affairs.
No regrets.
No regrets. Hey, Daniken, what do you think about the whole fuck your fist thing? You think it's too aggressive? Because I was thinking about doing T-shirts.
we should do some T-shirts like that. You know what I mean? Just have a fist on there doing something.
Exactly.
Yeah, makes sense.
Exactly. See, Zim? Zim said it's too aggressive, Aldo. Tone it down. You're muted.
Don't be a baby, Zim.
Don't be baby Zim. You still hold by that?
I still think it's very aggressive. I still haven't come up with anything better, though. So
be more aggressive than Viking metal, Aldo.
Oh, I can't wait to play that for people.
I teed it up for you.
Yes. Well, let's do it now, and then after that, we'll talk a little bit, and then my man Fitz should be here with his restaurant review. This is the premiere of Steven Zim Zimmerman's latest song. Do you have a title for it, Zim?
Yeah, he had a title for it. Yeah.
What did I call it? I don't remember.
I got it for you.
The Triumph of Minnesota, something like that.
The Triumph of Minnesota.
Yeah, Triumph.
Whoa, what? Whoa.
Yeah, what are you
Triumph
talking
over Minnesota? Maybe.
Triumph over Minnesota. Yeah.
Okay, let's do that.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, because if that's the case, I wasn't going to play this. All right.
Can we get Mrs. Zim on instead?
Exactly. She knows much more about football than Mr. Zim. This is, I just got the Vikings song, and I put the lyrics on the screen so you can all follow along.
and take their crown. But the Bears have a weapon to bring. His name is Ben Johnson, he's the trickster king. A summer of offense in the forest of lakes. A defense that has proven they can bend and not break. Who cares what number a rookie wears? On Monday, the Vikings take on our Bears. Monday Night Showdown. Vikings will go down. The lights are too bright for baby cousins light. The Bears beat the Vikings. Thank to Big Ben. The offseason of speculation is finally over now. Caleb Williams and his weapons have to stand up proud. The pride of Chicago is held within their hands. If anyone can do it, Coach Ben Johnson can. Vikings lean on all your QB to keep the ship afloat. Is Coach McConnell smart enough or will this sink their boat? Injuries and suspensions have crippled their offense. Gold and purple fans should prepare to pay the price. Monday Night Showdown. Vikings will go down. The lights are too bright for baby cousins light. The Bears beat the Vikings. Thanks to Big Ben. Ragnarok has come, it's the battle for it all. Chicago's time is now, the land of lakes will fall. The trickster god is here, the North trembles with fear. A clash for the division will end with Viking Monday Night Showdown. Vikings will go down. The lights are too bright for baby cousins light. The Bears beat the Vikings. Thanks to Big Ben.
That was pretty effing good, man.
Sim, you got
That ain't
great
bad, man.
reviews in the chat room, man.
It ain't bad.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like, it was fun, but it's just on my bar. Like, we put out a few songs so far. That's probably at the bottom of the list for me personally. So
Yeah,
I think we can.
I won't argue with you on that, but the fact of the matter is that I think we all made it through it, and we're still here. People haven't
Yeah.
left.
My view count didn't go too low, so
I saw Danigan actually kind of smiling and bobbing his
Yeah,
head.
I was
said, "What
listening
the
to a
hell?"
little bit of it. Yeah, you can find little things here and there and everything to kind of
100%. I've always said it. If there is drums, bass, and guitar, I will find something I like about it, whether I like the music or not. So
I'm the same way. I will go listen to any kind of live music because it's so special to hear, to listen to musicians and their renditions of songs. Absolutely. I love it.
It's funny. Cliff in chat makes a comment about Chat GPT in the lyrics. What's funny is I didn't like the lyrics I wrote, so I plugged it into Chat GPT and I was like, this sounds so mechanical. I hate it. So I went back to the stuff that I wrote afterwards.
That's funny. That's funny. Yeah. Sometimes I'll use AI to write lyrics to some of the stuff I'm doing, and I'll just use like a snippet of it, or it will spark another idea, because most of the time Chat GPT is really not artificial intelligence. It's more like artificial stupidity.
That's it. Well, and to explain some of how I do this with the music. What I'll usually do is like the week leading up, I'll just, I'll be driving to work or whatever, and I'll pull up the app on my phone and I'll just say, write a song about the Bears versus the Vikings in this style, and I'll save it for later and I'll listen through it. And I'll do that like 2-3 times. And then I'll come, I was thinking the same thing that Mr. Shorty says there.
Coming over, Anakin. I'm right here, don't you see?
But I just kind of pick and choose from all that, and then I usually try to come up with some kind of guitar riff or something for it, and I'll record it in there. And then that's what's really cool about it is it'll build off of whatever you record into it, and then you can write lyrics with it and all that. And like I said, I plugged it into ChatGPT. I said, "Nah, fuck that. That sounds terrible," and I put it back to what I originally wrote. And anyway, it's a whole process, man, and it's actually really fun, but it's also a real time crunch some weeks.
Oh
so.
my gosh, I'm telling you, man. I go because I bought the monthly plan, and I think they give you 2,000 credits, and I've blown through them in a few days, just doing iteration after iteration, and changing things and stuff.
Especially when like you get something that you like, but like you don't quite like something that it's doing, so you go in to edit like just a verse or something in there.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Pretty cool. Danikin, do you ever produce music at all?
No, I haven't produced any music, man. I love music though. I like different genres too. Like, everything from hip hop to R&B. I listen to rock. Everything. I posted some things before, and people are like, "Oh, you listen to that?" Yeah, I listen to that too. I listen to pretty much anything.
Yeah.
As long as like I said, you can find something somewhere. You know what I mean? Whether it be a lyric, whether it be a some type of pattern, some drum pattern, whatever the case may be, you can find something pretty much in all music, unless it's just
I agree.
You know what I mean?
I totally agree. I mean, there are some genres like if I've never heard of a polka song that I like.
No.
I'm not trying to be mean.
You're not a Weird Al fan?
What did he do? I remember he did some polka song.
Oh, Weird Al. So well, his polkas, his most famous polkas, he does mashups. He does like he does mashups of all the relevant songs since the last time he released one, basically. So he actually just put one out like last year, I want to say. But he does a lot of different polka music, and it's actually modernized in a way that it doesn't suck.
All right.
Well, a lot of when people think polka, they always think very traditional things.
Yeah, right.
And traditional polka, it's it's oompa music, whereas Weird Al brings that little modern twist to it.
White Nerdy is so good.
Yeah, did you ever hear that, Danikin?
White Nerdy is so good.
Yeah, that was a Weird Al Yankovic.
It's probably his biggest song.
Yeah,
and it's funny when Chameleonaire won a Grammy for it. He like shouted out Weird Al, saying like this song probably wouldn't have been as famous if he hadn't done the parody that he did. So
yeah,
thank you.
Exactly. I'm white and nerdy. It's a funny video.
The funniest thing when it comes to music, man, stuff is recycled so much that people that you could play something and then you'll turn around and play it again, and people will not understand where it came from or anything. Like it's like a Kanye West song. You go back and you see what he chopped the sample up from, and it's like, where did he even come up? What made him think of using that song to play this one? It's crazy. It's crazy.
Although I know what can get you into polka music.
Oh, yeah. I gotta like to get into them.
Check out one of those German beer halls together.
Jeez. I'll tell you what, I drink one of those beers. I'm glad there's 3 girls there because they can keep each other company while I fall asleep. I'm serious.
I'll be seeing 6 of them after a few beers, though, for me, although.
Hey, guys, in about less than 10 minutes, we're expecting Fitz to come in with his food review. But one of the things I want to talk about is Vegas is saying that the Bears over-under win total is 8.5. So I'd like to go around the horn here. And if seriously, if you were going to bet $100, would you bet on the over or the under? I see Danikin's got that thinking face. Tooch is the resident gambler here, so he's probably got his answer ready. But I want to start with Zim because I'm always interested in starting with the young bloods.
You know, I actually almost threw down a bet on this today, and I said, I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm not touching this line.
Really?
This is too good of a line to me. They picked it like really well, I think. I think they're right
Very
in that
sharp
7 to
line.
9 win range where like you know, they could easily go 8 and 9 and you hit the under on it. They could easily go 9 and 8 and you hit the over on it. You know, I'm not touching the line. I think they did a really good job with it. If I'm taking $100 to bet an over under line, I'm finding a different team. Straight up. I'm not touching this line.
Interesting. Daniken, what are you thinking?
I'm gonna take a chance.
Yeah?
Take a chance. Yeah, I'll take a chance on it. I think they get 9 wins.
9 wins,
I
man.
think they go 9 and 8.
Yep.
I think they can pull that off. 9 and 8.
By the way, I hate the sound of that 8 losses. I don't want to sit through 8 losses this year. But
well, I'll tell you what,
I genuinely 12 last year.
I know.
In a row.
That's part of the reason why I don't want to.
Look, if you believe anything that Ben Johnson said in that, well, we looked at that clip earlier, right? What did he say? I'm here to win now. There's no reason why we can't win now. I'm taking 9. I'm taking 9.
There you go. All right, Tooch.
If you believe it. If you don't believe it, don't do it.
Right, exactly.
17-0, Aldo.
You know what? I was tempted to do a video where I was going to predict 17-0 because I want them to win 17-0. I'm going to will them as a fan to win 17 games, but it never works. Never works. I have no say.
We've been willing for 50 years, Aldo.
Oh shit. Oh shit. But Tooch, you're the resident gambler here. You run a business on gambling and so forth. What say you? 8.5?
Man, you know, we talked about this on Weekend Sports Betting Tips, and I don't know where. It's a tough schedule.
Yes, it is.
Really tough. I don't know, like where 9 wins would come from. So I mean, I'm not betting this, and I don't like betting on or against the Bears because you know if I bet on them to win, they lose. And if I bet on them to lose, they win. They're like, you fucking traitor! You bet against us? Fuck you! I'm going to show you. So I would take the under.
Okay. Well, I know our next guest, our contributor here, has an opinion on this, but I want to play his introductory song first, and then we'll bring him in. And if I had this organized the way it should, I could play it immediately. And
welcome to the barroom fits. No better food critic exists. You bring the world to Chicago on your own YouTube channel, but we don't just want your connoisseur skills. Your passion for the Bears gives us a chance. Fences with the barroom, boom, boom, boom. Fences with the barroom, boom, 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 boom. Fences with the barroom, boom, boom, boom. Ba ba da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba ba.
you know, that's the third or fourth time that we've rolled that music, and nobody has asked me what that thing is that's coming out of the water.
I don't want to know.
It's a frozen dinner. Fitz, how are you, my friend?
Much better than last week. Much better than last week.
So, what do you want to share? What happened last week?
I won't get into details, but Tooch, you knew what was going on Wednesday morning.
Yep.
So, it kind of stems from that, but I ended up I had a gallbladder attack.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, so it was very painful, and it was very painful. My wife thought I was in labor.
Wow.
So, am I coming through okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Just making sure. Okay.
Yeah, you're fine. I'm a big baby when it comes to shit like that. You know, if I would have had what you would have had, my wife would have fucking called an ambulance and said, "You deal with them."
It was horrible. They gave me something stronger than morphine. Actually, it was that painful. So yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Are you still high?
I'm all, what's that?
Are you still high?
No,
Oh,
but it
darn.
went straight to my legs. I know that. So
Hey, Fitz, we were just talking about 8.5 is where Vegas has put the line on the Chicago Bears wins over under. If you had $500 that just fell into your pocket and you wanted to bet it, would you bet it on the over or under?
I'd go over.
Really? Tell us why.
Yes, I would. I was on Cheese Talk podcast. Brian Rago is a good guy, Packer fan, and I said 9 wins. That was about 10 days ago.
Mhm.
And I don't know if it's the drugs I was on, but I want to go higher than that now. I want to be that meathead that just there. Yes, thank you.
There he is.
Fitz is in the bar room, Aldo.
Wearing sunglasses.
I'm telling you, it's something about Bears fans that I love and hate is that get to late August, early September, doesn't matter what the team is actually like. We think we're going 16-1. You know, it's like we want to bring that, you know, the flavor of 85 back if you ever experienced that. And every Sunday throughout the year, no matter how bad we are, come Saturday night, you know, we think we're going to beat whoever we're playing, whether it's, you know, the Kansas City Chiefs, you know, or whoever. The Bears, Bear fans just get like that. And I must admit, I'm getting like that right now. Every day goes by, it's one more win I think they're going to pick up, and I have no idea how.
Love it. Well, take a look at this schedule, Fitz, and tell me where those 9 wins are going to come from. Week
No
1,
clue.
Vikings.
I think they're 2-2 after 1.
2-2?
I think they're 2-2 at the bye. At the bye.
Okay.
I think they get Minnesota and Dallas. I'm
Okay.
sorry, Minnesota and the Raiders. I think they get the Commanders. That's going to be a revenge game.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to get the Saints.
So we're up to 4 victories heading into week 8. That's where everybody pauses and says, "I can't do it."
I think they'll lose to Baltimore, but they're going to get Cincinnati and New York.
Ooh, wow. Okay, so we got 5 and 6 victories heading into week 11.
They'll lose in Minnesota. They're not going to play well in a dome or whatever.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
They're beating the crap out of Rodgers in week 12.
Love it.
Something about
they
not being in
killed
a Packer uniform.
Yes.
You know, they're going to destroy him.
Yeah.
They'll lose to the Eagles.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer.
So where are we at?
I think we're at 7 wins.
7 wins. Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
We're sweeping the Packers this year.
Oh, man. Love it.
I love it too.
We're sweeping
That's
the
8
Packers
wins.
this year. We're getting the Browns and we're getting the Lions at home.
That's 10 wins.
Yeah.
He did it.
I think we go 4-2 in the division.
Mm-hmm.
So
And that's what's necessary with this tough schedule. Now, all those other teams in the NFC North, they have an equally tough schedule. It's not just the
Right.
Bears. Say they got to play these teams too. So that, you know, do you think it's possible? Let's go around the horn real quick. Tooch, Zim, Daniken, and then Fitz. Do you think it's possible that a 9-win season can win the NFC North? Tooch.
Yeah, I think it's possible.
I think so too.
To win the North?
Probably not likely,
Yes.
but possible.
Right. What do you think, Zim?
Yeah, possible, but very unlikely, I think.
Why?
This is a
Tell me
very
why.
tough. This is a very tough division, but I mean, you got to remember that the rest of the division has a very similar schedule to the Bears, right?
That's what I just say. Yeah.
So, I mean, because of that, I think each team you can automatically pencil in this entire division for like 5 wins right off the rip.
Mhm.
You know, so now you're telling me that every team in the division is only going to win 4 other or fewer games the entire year. I just don't see that being very likely. A couple of them, maybe, you know, like, you know, maybe the Packers fall off a little bit. Maybe the Lions regress without their coordinators. Maybe JJ McCarthy isn't ready for prime time, and the Vikings fall off because frankly they are completely riding on him. But I don't think it's very likely to say that all 4 teams in this division only win 4 games outside of their 5 gimmies.
Interesting. Okay. What do you think, Danigan? 9 wins wins the division?
I don't think 9 wins wins. No, I don't think so. I think it's going to be 11. Probably somebody's going to get to 11, 12 wins, and win the division. I think what's going to happen is the division is tough. They're going to beat up on each other, of course, right? But there's going to be one team that kind of stands out for some strange reason, and they're going to kind of get the better or the upper hand on the rest of the division.
All right, Fitz, before you share your thought, I just want to go on one of my little tangents here. The Lions are going to be awful this year. They're going to start 3-5. Take that to the bank because of all the internal changes that they've had. Yes, they've got a good roster, but when you change out, 60% of your coaching staff, 70% of your coaching staff, that's a tough thing to do, particularly if the head coach is just a meathead. All he does is create a culture of biting people in the kneecaps and so forth. He's not a strategist. He's not he's not Ben Johnson. And so I think that we're going to see a downfall on the Detroit Lions, particularly in the first half of the season, and then they'll get going in the second half. As for the Vikings, you can't convince me that J.J. McCarthy is going to be a winning quarterback in his first season, not after coming out of Michigan where he was handing off the ball and throwing short passes. That's just not going to happen. Zim has said it. Other people have said it. It's just not going to happen. Now, the Green Bay Packers, because they added Micah Parsons, I'm giving them 5 or 6 wins this season. No, I'm just kidding. But I still feel like Jordan Love is not somebody that you can depend on to play well. And I think that the Jordan Love bridge might totally collapse this season. We'll see what happens. Fitz, your thoughts?
You said just about everything I was going to say. I think that the division could come back to the Bears this year. It's like I think we're all very similar, but maybe not all that good either. So I think the division could fall back to them. I'm with you with J.J. McCarthy. He had 3 years of tape on this guy in college, and no one said boo about him. He has a good day at the combine, and he becomes Joe Burrow. And it's like, where did that this can't happen again to the Bears?
That another quarterback like Zach Wilson, doesn't it?
As Zim is saying, sounds like Zach Wilson. That's a good point.
McCarthy's a rookie.
Yeah,
he's a rookie. Yeah, he is a rookie. I'm sorry to interrupt, Fitz. I was just going to say real quickly, the difference between him and Zach Wilson says Zach Wilson, by all accounts, was an asshole, and J.J. McCarthy is a nice guy. But J.J. McCarthy, and I'm only sharing this because I've had anxiety issues too. J.J. McCarthy has an anxiety issue, and so I got to believe that he's going to be super nervous in that first game, and it could impact his performance. We will see. I'm sorry, Fitz, I interrupted you.
No, I agree totally. The Bears should be able to get after him. If anything, on defense, the Bears are a good defense. Can we all agree with that? They're a good defense. Are they great?
Absolutely.
We don't know.
They should be good, yeah.
But they're good, and so they should give a rookie quarterback fits. He shouldn't play that well, but it can be such a Bears thing to allow a rookie quarterback to tear him up in front of a national audience. I've seen it too many times before. So
stop.
I'm anxiety in that game too.
Look, and just to add one more thing to this whole divisional discussion. Look, for everybody who's making noise about these male cheerleaders in Minnesota, I don't understand why they have let Dan Campbell get away with it for so many years, because that's all he is for his team. And you know what? Frankly, it works for them. Good for them that it worked out. But all he is a male cheerleader on the sidelines. All he is a big old meatball just telling everybody we're men among men and blah blah blah, and we're gonna bite kneecaps and we're bigger and badder because we say so. And that's like his whole shtick. And it got really old like 10 minutes into his Lions career. And it's been so infuriating to see them be successful. And I really don't think they will be without their two coordinators.
Got no shot of getting back here.
At the same time, Dan Campbell hired both of those guys, so maybe he does know a thing or two.
That's right.
That's a good thought. But here's the thing with Dan. he says a lot of nonsense and a lot of funny, you know, we can take shots at it and everything like that. But at the end of the day, for whatever reason, the team is taking on that identity.
Yeah.
They're a bunch of meatballs too.
They're a bunch of, but they're a bunch of dudes that go out there and they play hard, man. They play
That's
hard
right.
every single game.
That's
Every
true.
The
game.
roster they put
And-
together is still the same kind of roster. It's a bunch of meatball guys, a bunch of thugs, for lack of a better way to put it.
Oh,
Bring them in. I don't care.
They
Bring
always
'em in.
have been. But you know, they found an identity within it now. In
That's the
years
thing.
past, they didn't have an identity with it, so they just played dirty football and lost anyway. Now they're playing smarter football and using that aggression in a way that's letting them win games.
Bullshit!
Because they have a direction for it. They have a direction for it.
We'll see what they do going forward without their defensive and offensive coordinator and half of their coaching staff or whatever it is. But, you know, sometimes you got to have some foolishness or some goofy stuff from a coach every now and then to get guys kind of on board. For whatever reason, they bought into the crap. You know what I mean? And it's,
Well,
you know,
and could it have been that the two coordinators who were in charge of the teaching and the game plan and the defense and the offense and their position coaches were all really good? Antoine Randall L, you know, really taught the receivers well and so forth. Couldn't it have been that Dan Campbell was the culture builder, but it was the coordinators and the position coaches that got the results out of that? The players were ready to play hard, but those coordinators were really the major influencers in terms of getting those guys to play well. Fair enough?
Oh, we'll find it. We'll find out. We'll find out in a few
We'll
days.
find out. Week 2, we'll find out. I want to play, Fitz, before we get to your restaurant review, I want to play a clip from the St. Brown Brothers podcast. Aroma Dunze was on, and they talked a little bit about utilizing the Detroit utilizing Ben Johnson's playbook. It's pretty funny.
So now that you guys have Ben, the Lions are without Ben. Who's gonna? Obviously, you guys are both running the same system now. Who's gonna run it better? You know, that's what
hold on. Our system's a little different now. We switched some shit up.
Yeah, what they said to switch some shit up.
We had to mix it up a little and switch it up. Like,
so Ben left. You guys like fuck it. Like we gotta switch it up.
We gotta switch. You can't. I mean, it's Ben's.
if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
You're right. There's still some stuff that are very similar, but there's some changes too, some tweaks.
Oh, okay.
Some tweaks.
Some
Wow.
tweaks.
Hey, Rome, ain't shit changed. They're running the same shit. They probably added a few plays. They're running the same shit over there. I promise you. Yeah, same shit, bro.
They all running the same shit over there.
Ain't no way
they.
He's trying to lie, bro. He's like, oh, we got him week 2. He's trying to cap on the podcast, bro.
Bro, trying to lie right now.
Yeah, Ben's probably like, these niggas running the same shit, just less detailed. I ain't worried.
Yeah.
Nah, we got some shit, Ben. We're coming. I love you, Ben, but we got some shit, Ben. I promise you.
I can't wait for that game.
Week 2. Bring it on.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it. It's gonna be a lit.
Fitz, you had them 1-1 after week 2, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so why
Yeah,
are they
I think
losing
they lose
to
the home
Lions?
games in the division.
Oh, okay. Interesting that you would say. It's interesting that you would say that. Why do you think they lose the dome games? Just because of the noise for this young team, or another reason?
Well, when was the last time they won? On the road in the division.
Yeah. I don't know. I think this team with
I don't know what it
speed-
is. I just think, Detroit will be up for it. They're going to have their home crowd. I don't think that we're that much more talented. The Bears aren't that much more talented than the Lions. I think at the moment that I think the crowd will home field advantage will prevail in that game.
Who are you picking? Packers and Lions week 1.
Can both teams lose?
Yes.
It's like I'll go Lions.
Oh, so that's why.
I'll go Lions.
Yeah, because they got to win at home, or if not, they fall to 0-2. And I think they're really going to get off to a slow start. I wouldn't at all be surprised if they're 0-2 after the Bears beat the crap out of them in Detroit.
Okay. I hope they do.
I hope so too. All right, let us get to some food. Danica, you hungry?
Let's get it.
because every week after we see Fitz's videos, we all get damn hungry. Charcoal Delights is the place you visited this week. Fitz, you want to say anything before we roll the video?
Oh, it's a longtime favorite. I grew up on it. I grew up over there in Albany Park and spent many, many hours in that place. And it's just my rating is a little biased because of that for this, but it's still good nonetheless. So
yeah, I noticed you gave it I noticed you gave it a Hall of Fame rating there, but here it comes.
The Double Cheddar Burger and Super Dog from Charcoal Delights. Just across the street from North Park University on Chicago's north side is Charcoal Delights at 3139 West Foster Avenue. This longtime burger and hot dog joint serves up all of the delicious Chicago favorites, like their Double Cheddar Burger, cooked over an open flame just like your backyard barbecue. I've had my share of these burgers over the years since I was a kid, and they're just as good today as they were in the 80s. And there's Super Dog, a quarter-pound Vienna beef dog dragged through the garden, a Chicago favorite. Or try a Chicken Delight fried chicken breast with cheddar cheese. And make sure you get an order of cheese fries. And it all goes perfect with one of their frosty chocolate milkshakes. Overall, Charcoal Delights has had a Hall of Fame career and gets a 341 on the Fitzometer. That's Charcoal Delights at 3139 West Foster in Chicago, Illinois. Where should I eat next? Comment in the replies, hashtag FitzMagicEats, and check out all of my reviews on my YouTube channel at FitzMagicShy.
Oh, that looks so damn good. I'm so hungry now.
Man, I'm going to start leaving the room for these reviews.
Yes, exactly.
How do you do it? What's crazy? Well, I hadn't eaten in 3 days before we went there. So
a double burger.
Do it. No, that's just a great place. Yeah, yeah. But no, it's a great place. It used to be called the Hot Dog Pit. I showed a picture of it, the original building in there. And back then it was just you were on a stool and there was this long counter that snaked through the restaurant. And it was just one of those old time diner style places. And in 1986, they tore it down and put the current building that's been up there. So it's been almost 40 years now with the building that's been there. And when you last that long in Chicago, you know you're doing something right. So
absolutely,
yeah, it's great. And the two guys at the grill were the same ones that I saw when I was 7 years old.
Wow.
Just
that's crazy.
Two guys that I saw that they were the same. Yeah. Yeah.
So
just older, less hair. But yeah.
They did not win the lottery. Huh?
Yeah, it's a great.
Yeah, the chat room wants to know if you eat all of that.
Yeah, did you eat all that?
No, I did not. In fact, I finished the burger. I finished the burger tonight when I got home from work. So
I was going to ask you. If you
my wife had the rest of the hot dog.
Oh man, I was going to drive over to your house and pick up the leftovers.
No, my wife had the hot dog.
Shit, out here in Arlington Heights, that every restaurant closes at 10 o'clock.
I rarely eat everything.
Yeah. Shit, when I moved into this neighborhood, there was a White Castle on Dundee Road, and I used to go there, after 10 o'clock all the time. And when they closed it down, this is about 8-9 years ago, I started weeping. I can't believe the only place that's open. There's a couple of McDonald's now that are open 24 hours, but hey, I wanted to ask you guys, Burger King or McDonald's? Fitz, to start with you.
McDonald's. Yeah, I've always been a McDonald's guy when it comes to those two. I love Burger King. Burger King's good, Got the was it flame broiled they call it? So I'm a McDonald's guy. Yeah.
What are you saying, Daniken?
I'm gonna go McDonald's too. I like Burger King,
mm-hmm.
but McDonald's fries is by far,
That's the one right there.
I can't deviate because of that right there.
Yeah, indeed.
Although Burger King has improved their fries, they used to be awful.
Yes.
You know,
They are better.
now they're not bad.
They've changed it.
McDonald's
They've
is still-
changed it like every. They changed it like every 3 or 4 years, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
McDonald's has
They
been
do.
the same. I mean, they don't mess with it. I mean, no, they shouldn't.
Five Guys to me is the top fries. It's like, you know, can I have a small fries? They'll put this little cup in there filled with fries. And they'll like put like a gigantic, you want more fries? Pretty soon you're like buried in fries.
The problem with Five Guys is that I don't want to put a second mortgage on my house just for a burger. So
I know, right?
You get the bill, you're like, I went to Five Guys today. It was $52.
got $85 and I had to leave my car with a valet and
Yeah,
I noticed Fitz was eating cheese fries. It reminded me of this SNL sketch, 5 minutes in the cheese fry booth with Chris Farley. You guys remember that sketch? That was the prize he won. He got 5 minutes. 5 minutes in the cheese fry booth.
Oh, that sounds like such a great 5 minutes right now.
Yeah, I hear you, and I'm sure he loved it too, Chris. Zim, are you a McDonald's?
Yeah, it's McDonald's all the way.
Yeah,
I don't think I've had Burger King in about 10 years or so at this point. Last time I went there, the burger tasted so wrong to me.
Really?
I never went back.
Wow.
Not a bad placement. Yeah,
I don't know what it was, but it tasted like chemically, and I was just like, nope, can't do it. Can't do it.
Charcoal maybe, but I mean, I used to. There was a Burger King next to the dialysis center where I used to drive my mom to. So I was like, I would eat Burger King a lot. Now I gotta tell you, man, when I was
Interesting.
and the McDonald's used to come in the styrofoam clamshells.
Oh yeah.
You know, I swear they were bigger now, and I was like, I could never finish a Big Mac when I was a kid. Now I can eat 2 of them, man. They're so small.
Yeah.
It's like, I need to order 2 of them, Daniken.
Yeah, where's the beef?
I remember that. Matter of fact, I remember my dad. I think I was like maybe 9 or no, I don't know, maybe 8 or 9, something like my son's age right now. And I had a little brother. He's a year and a half younger than me. And we went through, and he's like, "Can you handle a Big Mac?" And I was like, "Yeah, I can." You know what I mean? That was my first time having one. I was like, "Yeah, I can." And my brother couldn't get one, so I laughed at him because he couldn't get one because he's
I love it.
too little.
That
I
is
mean,
awesome.
the Burger King burger or the Whopper like still seems like it's pretty fucking big still.
Yeah,
you know? But,
sure.
Yeah, it does. It does.
You know, but
Man, I am so fucking hungry right now.
I know.
gotta
Fun
tell you.
fact.
can you go 5 minutes in the cheese fry booth?
I could
I'm not
stay
done.
on,
I got some more food here.
Hey Fitz, first game is Monday night. What? So when you're tailgating for a night football game, do you do anything different? Anything on the menu? Anything that we should know as somebody who's here to also give some tailgating advice?
I think that's kind of a good one for what I've got here tonight. Because you're tailgating at night, so you might have a little longer prep time. You could go with some fried chicken. I've got some fried chicken wings here.
Oh no! Oh no!
They're lathered in sauce here.
My weakness.
Oh my god! Oh my god! I was
Do
actually
any of you
making
know who John Young was?
I don't give a shit who he is. I want some of that chicken.
Well, you're gonna learn something today, okay?
Okay.
This is John Young's mumbo sauce, okay?
Oh,
so
wow.
he is. Okay, this is what it's lathered in. It's not really a barbecue. It's not really a hot sauce. It's kind of in between. He is where we get. I think he put chicken wings. He was the base for it before. Who was it? Anchor Bar in Buffalo. So John Young opened a restaurant in 1960 on the east side of Buffalo called Wings and Things.
Okay.
And he served wings. It was a relatively it wasn't until Buffalo Bills running back Cookie Gilchrist was seen going in there getting chicken wings that all of a sudden it became this phenomenon around Buffalo, and people were lining up outside the door to get these. They would buy them before the games, take them in a box, 5 cents a wing, a whole wing. He did, this was a whole, it wasn't just a drumstick and a flat. He did the whole wing. He fried it and put it in his sauce. And that really started the whole connecting chicken wings to football, really. Because people would take them. It was like 4 blocks from War Memorial Stadium where the Buffalo Bills played. So people would go before the game, buy a box of wings, take it to the stadium. And that's kind of where the connection is. And part 2 of this will be next week when we talk about Anchor Bar and their part in it. But John Young was really what got chicken wings going, and doesn't get much credit for it, but he should. The restaurant was open for about 10 years before the family moved to Decatur, Illinois, and he opened a restaurant there. So wait, I got to eat some of this, right? So,
yes, of course.
I'm going to pull this
I'm
apart.
going to close my eyes, though.
Oh, okay. Oh, man. I'm like making a mess here.
It ain't good if you don't make a mess.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, look at that.
Oh, man.
Look at that.
Oh, that's perfect. Here we go.
How much do you have, Fitz? I can still drive over after the show.
Yeah,
Fitz froze.
Chicken wings are
anyways
expensive, man.
Pretty good stuff, Fitz.
Real good.
I got a dozen of these. I made a dozen of them.
Dozens. Jeez, I'm picking up 2
But I think
Ziv
that's
in
good
Iowa.
Am I back?
You're back. Yeah. That is pretty awesome, Fitz.
Nice.
So next week you're going to give us some more tailgating advice in another restaurant, right?
So yeah, that
Yep.
Oh, we lost him.
Lost him.
I'll give him 5
chicken
seconds.
wings they're so expensive now. Chicken wings, man. It's like
He got the sauce
Man.
all over his computer or something. Sauce dripped everywhere, and now he's gone.
there he is.
He's still eating too.
He's back. That's a 330 on the Fitzometer. Those wings. That's a
330.
That sauce is really good. But yeah, you can get the sauce on the website.
Nice.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And just
Yeah,
to let people know, because they're always asking, the Fitzometer is basically Fitz taking a baseball batting average and applying it to the place or food he's reviewing. So that's 330 is pretty damn good.
Yeah, definitely. That's all-star right there.
All right, so tease what you're going to talk about next week with the tailgating, because you just sort of mentioned something a second ago.
Yeah, well, I'm going to do part 2 to the chicken wing thing. We'll talk about Anchor Bar, their role in the whole chicken wing phenomenon. I mean, we eat,
fantastic,
4 or 5 billion chicken wings a year in this country, and like 1 billion alone on Super Bowl Sunday. So,
wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. So
pretty sure I account for most of the state of Iowa's census on that.
Sim, you weigh 160 pounds. What are you talking about?
Oh, dude, I can put away some wangs though.
Yeah. It's like thin crust pizza. You never get full on chicken wings or thin crust pizza.
Last week, my wife was out of town, so I had to feed myself for a night, which is a travesty in and of itself because I'm not doing as good a job as she does. So I went out and I got some wings, and I got a big like fucking 40 piece, like so that I had some left over for the next day. And I started watching a movie and having a couple of beers, and I'm nomming on them while, before our fantasy football podcast. And I look down and there's 5 left. And I'm like, what the hell?
I love it. I love it. Cool. Fitz, any final words? Go ahead, Daniken.
I had a question for Fitz, and then I got something else for somebody that said something in the chat. I think somebody said they're in Macon. They're going to go get some barbecue or something. If you're in Macon, there's a Sharks. If you're looking for some type of Chicago style wings or whatever, there's a Sharks in Macon, Georgia, down there. I've been there before. Yeah, Cliff. There you go. And then Fitz, just a quick question, right? when it comes to tailgating, and maybe I should have saved this for next week or something, but what do you think about meatballs when tailgating? Is that a really good food to have there? Because they're huge in Atlanta, right? Every tailgate I've gone to, they got tons of meatballs, barbecue, different flavors, just all meatballs. Sometimes they won't have anything but meatballs at the tailgate.
Oh,
It's
definitely
crazy.
meatballs. I love meatballs at a tailgate. Usually, just stick them with a toothpick and pop them in your
Go to
mouth.
work.
All right. Yeah, you can. We got the little crock pots that you can heat up with those things, or however fancy you want to get with them. Yeah, meatballs are very welcome at a tailgate, if you're asking me. So
Particularly like those November, December tailgates when it's like cold and you need something to warm your core. That's where the meatballs come in clutch, especially if you've got like a variety where like, these are like your traditional. And then like over here, we've got like some barbecue, and over here we've got like Korean. And then over here we got spicy. And, you go down the line with the meatball. I've seen it before and it's a treat.
It's crazy.
I love
man.
it.
I went to a tailgate out here, and they that's all they had was meatballs. It was crazy. I was like, "Do you have anything else? Just meatballs." That's it.
Wow. I'm of the theory that if you can cook it at a tailgate, then it's fine. And, so I've been to tailgates before. Like I went to one at Notre Dame. I was an invited guest of some corporate people and so forth. And they knew all the people who were tailgating in that parking lot area. And so we walked around and talked to different people, and there were all sorts of different dishes and stuff. And I was like, man, this is effing fantastic, man. It wasn't just brats and hamburgers and stuff, but it was like Swedish food and you name it. It was a smorgasbord of great food. And I was like, this is the way you should do a tailgate. Why should you be relegated to just hamburgers and hot dogs, which is really what you get most? I love the idea of going to a tailgate and biting into a meatball or like a jibarito sandwich, Fitz.
Yes.
Although you said if you can make it at a tailgate, you should. And it just reminded me of all the meals I used to make camping that I was like, those would translate so well. Bring the whole Dutch oven and just stick it on the grill and make yourself like a peach cobbler at the tailgate.
Oh man,
that would go over so well.
Yeah,
I love it.
The very first thing that I rated on the Fitzometer, in fact, when it was created, was like I said in the South lot on a Thursday night, and I was eating gumbo. The guy had made gumbo, so yeah,
that's awesome.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, So yeah, I think night games are perfect for something like that. For something that takes a little longer to cook and prepare. So
that's a good idea. Yeah, I'm in. Hey, by the way, Mr. Shorty Daniken lives in Georgia. So if you guys hook up and get together, let me know because I'll fly down and pick up the tab.
Sure, let's do it. Let's do it.
Mr. Shorty, I'll leave it up to you. Set it up.
That'll work.
Fitz, have you had Korean chicken wings, fried chicken wings yet?
Yes.
Banchan.
Yes. My sister had some takeout a couple months ago, and we had some Korean. I forget where she got it from, but they were some Korean barbecue wings, and yeah, they're good.
Yeah, they're so like extra crispy with that sweet soy glaze.
Jeez.
Daniken, you know that banchan, Korean fried chicken.
Yeah, I've had it before. Yeah.
Oh, so good.
Not bad.
Hey,
Although,
Tooch, do me a favor and say that sweet soy glaze again because that
sweet soy glaze.
Did you ever say that in like one of your adult films that you used to do years ago?
I'm about to say that. Sweet soy glaze.
Sweet soy glaze. All right, Fitz, we're gonna let you out of here. Thanks very much for. I'm so happy that you're feeling better. Look at this guy. Just continues
so good. I'm so hungry now.
You know what? You know what we have to do for a future show, Fitz?
Yo.
I am going to order food for everyone, for Zim and Tooch. Does DoorDash work up in Iowa, guys?
Yeah.
Does it work in Daniken? Does DoorDash alive and well? Okay. I'm going to order food for everybody. That way we could, the 5 of us could eat at the same time. Wouldn't that be awesome?
I'm not going to lie. It's a little sketchy where I live, but we'll see.
So what would I order, Zim, in Iowa from DoorDash for you?
Well, that's the thing. It depends on if the DoorDasher is working that night in my town.
Okay.
The DoorDasher.
Yes. There's one guy.
Exactly.
He's the same guy hanging around the schoolyard with an overcoat on, right? Fitz, you're the absolute best. I'm glad you're feeling better, and we will see you next week, bro.
Right. Thanks a lot, guys. We'll see
Anything
you.
Anything you want to
want to know next week?
Yeah.
What?
Anything you want to plug before you leave?
No, just check out my YouTube channel for all my videos at Fitzmagic Shy. Got almost 70 videos now, so check them out.
Nice.
Like and subscribe.
Exactly.
That's it.
Keep growing,
All right,
brother.
take care, guys.
Take care. Bye-bye.
All right.
That is Fitzmagic. You can find his channel on YouTube. Daniken, you're also Three Kings is back this week, or did you drop an episode already?
Yeah, we did. We dropped we actually recorded yesterday, and we were able to drop it. We dropped it last night, but I really kind of pushed it out there this morning. So yeah.
Excellent.
Three Kings.
Excellent.
It's entitled "One Monkey Can't Stop the Show."
Oh, you want to give us a little bit more as to why that title?
Well, we just got to talking about Micah Parsons and how a lot of Bears fans were so, oh my God, nervous and scared. Micah Parsons is a great player. He's a great player, but any player can be neutralized, so one monkey doesn't stop the show.
I love that. I love that. This isn't basketball where Michael Jordan could take over a game all by himself.
Exactly.
It's a team game, and we've got a great head coach who is going to strategize and help. And all of the coaches are going to strategize to help neutralize Micah Parsons when we meet him later in the season. And frankly, as Tooch was mentioning in his Bear State of Affairs, I would rather beat a team when they're 100% healthy than not. But I would not have made the trade for Parsons knowing that he's got issues with his L4 and L5 on his vertebrae. That's very.
How could they not know, right?
They did. They did know. Because they did the trade wasn't consummated until after the physical. So it was announced he did the physical, and they still agreed to do the trade. So
and pay him.
And pay him 100 and what is it?
88 million? Yeah.
Jesus. That is, you're a cool man, Teach.
I gave him one picture, said make him lip around grabbing his back.
By the way, Danny, and you're not familiar with this, but last season, during the season, I would play a really sexy Mexican weather girl giving the weather forecast for the upcoming Bears game. I forgot to do it for this show. Dan Brown, Daniken, I'm going to bring it back next week, and you will not be disappointed. I've got a collection of beauties for us to slobber all over.
Wonderful.
Thank you. I'm glad you're a fan already.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Dan Brown, for reminding us.
Exactly.
We don't want to miss that part of the show.
That's the highlight of most shows.
It's more important than the sweet soy glaze.
Yeah. I don't know what I'm gonna choose: the sweet soy glaze orgy or the cheese fry booth. Although
I can't go wrong with either one of them. All right, let's talk a little bit more Bears football, and then a little pop culture, and then we'll get out of here. I had another soundbite here I want to share with you. We talked about this earlier in the show, fellas, but this is Caleb talking about the connection he's building with Rome Odunze. Again, I'm still holding out that I think Rome could get the most receiving yards on the team, but also Caleb was asked about OZ and his role in the team.
Yeah, Rome has been great. The consistent open communication that we have between each other, and his growth and him as a player, his confidence, his belief in himself, and when the ball's in the air, it's his, has grown. And I'm excited, and I trust him with full faith and full belief that if I throw the ball to him, that it'll be caught, or at the least it'll be incomplete. And 14, that's my guy, OZ. I think the connection from when he got here. I think it's also been an open communication between him and I, and there's a lot of routes where it's a very you got to know what he's doing. You got to know his body language and things like that, when he's breaking, when he's not, when he's going to snap it off, when he's going to settle, and things like that. So I think that's been a work in progress from the beginning of camp, in OTAs and things like that to now, and I think it's grown tremendously.
All right, so I got this that I want to share with you. Where did I put it? This is the over-under on Roma Dunze for the season receiving yards, 850.5, over and under. I'm going to start with Zim right away because he's like, his reaction to that has me wondering why he's reacting that way.
I'm still not touching it.
Really?
It's too good of a line. I don't like that line. We have no idea what this offense is going to look like. We have no idea.
I have an idea.
I'll go over on that one.
Okay, so let me ask Zim. I have to ask you this question because we talked about this earlier, right? And you said Rome is going to be the guy more so than DJ is.
Receptions wise, I think so.
So you think 850 is too low, or he's not going to reach that?
It's not an indictment of Rome by any means. It's more so, I think that the ball is really going to be spread around. Like, I really do. Like, I think that we're not taking into account how much these tight ends are going to take away from the receivers in terms of targets and catches. I mean, there's talk of Colson Loveland as if he's a top 10 fantasy tight end option, and we're completely ignoring the fact that Cole Kmet is still a very good, very productive player for this team. And I don't have it off the top of my head, but I can find it very quickly. But Cole Kmet was a lot of their offense last year.
Yeah, but they got all these weapons now.
And that's just it. Kmet's lowest receiving yardage was his rookie season of 243 yards. Since then, he averages 10 yards per catch. Like in his career, he averages 10 yards per catch and 500 yards a season.
Let me blow
4
your
touchdowns.
mind.
Is Caleb throwing for 4,000?
But he's going to continue to do that. So I'm saying if you give 500 yards to Cole Kmet, then you give another 500 yards to Colson Loveland, that's 1,000 of the 4,000 yards right there. Then you give 750 each to your top 2 receivers. Okay, now we're all of a sudden up to 2,500 yards. That's only 1,500 yards you got to make up between your 3 and 4 receiver, your running backs, and then those kind of piddly yards that you get here and there. Totally possible that we could see these guys come in at about 800 yards, and Caleb still throws for 4,000.
It's a possibility, right? But let's be real. You didn't draft Rome Odunze in the top 10 to be an 800-yard receiver, 750-yard receiver. They're going to go to him. They're going to go to DJ Moore. Those 2 guys, I guarantee you, will both be over 1,000 yards this year. I can put money on it.
I would love to see it. I would absolutely love to see it. Again, Ben Johnson did not draft Rome Odunze. Ben Johnson had nothing to do with that decision process. Ben Johnson is doing what he can with the weapons he's got, and I truly believe that in order to maximize Caleb Williams' production, he will not focus on any singular player.
Yeah, I don't think the focus will be there, but name a quarterback that's thrown for 4,500 yards and he doesn't have a 1,000-yard receiver. You're telling me you're essentially telling me that there will not be a 1,000-yard receiver on the Bears. Possibly. It's possible. I'm not saying that's what you're saying, but you're saying there's a possibility. Because to me, if you say that Rome is going to be the go-to guy or he's going to have more catches, if he has more catches, what's he going to average? 8 yards per catch if he has 100 catches?
Mm-hmm.
That would be pitiful, in my opinion.
There's a few, just looking it up, just at a glance, because you got me curious on that. And this is an AI overview, so God only knows how accurate it actually is. But Carson Wentz in 2019 achieved over 4,000 yards passing, but did not have a 1,000-yard receiver.
Okay.
And that was a pretty good Eagles team. Let's see, Tony Romo in 2011. That's the height of his career. Threw for 4,200 yards without a 1,000-yard receiver. So it's not impossible, and I don't know. It's
let me
not
share
impossible.
something.
Here you go. Drew Brees threw for 5,000 yards in 2008 without a 1,000-yard receiver.
Really?
That's crazy. That's wild.
Yeah.
That is actually insane.
I'm not saying obviously it's possible. It can definitely happen. It just doesn't happen that often. You usually have a guy that's gonna get you.
But it happens more
1,000
often than I
yards.
think we realize. That's
Really?
what I'm learning very quickly here, just by going through some stat lines here. It does happen, and when it happens, though, and this is where I will agree with you. When it happens, it's because usually none of their receivers are that dude.
Yeah, right. Here's something interesting.
For sure.
We were talking about distributing the ball. This is what Vegas is saying about Cole Kmet against the Vikings. The over-under is 4.5 receiving yards.
Hang on. Making a bet right now.
Yeah, I got to place that bet.
That's over at Hard Rock.
Yeah, he's been shut out.
I saw that and I was like, what? Are they kidding?
He would have to be shut out for that to happen.
Watch
And that's
him
what
get one catch
Which
for
could
4
happen.
yards.
Yeah.
I mean, how did they know?
I mean, I don't see that happening, and then they have Colston Loveland season receptions over under 48, which for a rookie tight end with so many weapons, that isn't bad. Yeah, that isn't bad. But man, the Cole Kmet 4.5 over at the Hard Rock. I think we should all collect some money on that.
Yeah.
Bananas.
It just needs one catch.
Yeah.
Well, that's
One
just
catch
it.
for 5 yards. I mean,
When
come
does
on.
Cole Kmet ever get a catch for less than 5 yards? It feels like never.
Yeah, there may have been a time or two that I've tried to get out of my mind.
I think Cole Kmet's going to
There
carry
was
this a few times.
one game last year he had zeros across the board.
There were a couple of those, I think.
All right, so Bet MGM has the over/under passing yards at 3,600.
I'd hit the over.
Yeah, absolutely, right?
Yeah.
I think
over as well.
What do you have last year? 35?
35, yes.
35-30, yeah. Like
I mean,
literally one good game away from 3,600, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like a gift. And then the same place has Caleb Williams passing touchdowns over under 22.5. See, I
take the over there too.
Yeah, I think a lot of
Probably.
people understanding is that the ball, Caleb might not have a lot of air flight passes this year. It's going to be a lot of short stuff with Luther Burden, all breaking tackles and picking up 40, 50 yards, explosive play because of what he does with yak, yards after catch. I think the Rome is the only guy I can see on this roster who is not going to be a huge yak machine. He's going to be a guy who's going to make those contested catches, catch the 20-yard pass that's in the air. That's his, but Colston Loveland, Cole Kmet, Luther Burton, DJ Moore, these are yak machines. DeAndre Swift, unbelievable the weapons he's got. I got to believe Caleb Williams is going to get easily 5,000 yards, 4,500 yards passing, and about 25 touchdowns at least.
Yeah, I think so too.
What
Those
do
are
you guys-
good bets, man. Somebody needs to start placing them.
Tooch is the gambler here in the family. How much money you won this year, Tooch?
Well, I'm taking a break until football starts.
Oh, really? Well,
So-
guess what? It starts tomorrow.
2 days, yeah, 1 day away.
I'm ready. My research, for Sunday.
Tooch is
I'll
like that
probably
guy that
have,
says, I stopped
prop bet.
smoking yesterday.
Yeah.
I mean,
exactly.
baseball is so hard. My best is college basketball. Love college basketball, and then college football and NFL, and then after that, it's like really hard.
Tooch makes millions of dollars betting on college basketball, but he loses millions of dollars betting on baseball and hockey.
I'm taking a break. It's baseball. Baseball's so tough. It's just Managers pull out your pitcher. You're not,
I don't bet anymore on baseball. As a matter of fact, I don't bet anymore, period.
I'll be wagering on the NFL, though.
Guys, I want to get your thoughts on the captains that were announced. This was Ben Johnson talking about the
The way
procedure.
I approached it was you're going to get voted by your peers. Kind of gave them some criteria, what we're looking at from a work ethic standpoint to being challenging yet supportive of your teammates to, what it looks like on the field to what it looks like off the field and some things to think about. And then the next day they came in and they voted. And I told them I didn't know how many guys we were going to have overall. We're going to kind of look at the numbers and take it from there. But kind of had in my head somewhere between 3 to 5, 1 or 2 on offense, 1 or 2 on defense, and 1 on special teams. And just the way it played out number-wise, it made the most sense to go with 5 here this year.
Sim, you're the head coach of the Chicago Bears. What are you telling your captains their responsibilities are?
Keep the boys in shape. You're the leaders of this team. And the way it shook out, they're four of the captains are 4 of the 5 oldest players on the team as well. Meaning you've got the experience. You've been there before. You show these boys how it's done. You bring them up to make them captains like yourself.
I can't dispute any of what you just said. I would add to that, but I want to get Daniken's thoughts first. What are you telling your captains to do?
To lead, be leaders, right?
Sometimes
and that
leadership
means-
has to be defined, though, right?
Yeah, leadership has to be defined. It's not always, leading by voice, right? You got to have somebody, and you want to have a person that can lead by voice, but you also want to have a person that leads by example, and you also want to have somebody else that leads in a different way, right? So with your captains, you want to have kind of like a little bit of a balance there. Everybody can't be rah, right? Everybody can't be laid back either. Right. So you got to have some balance there, but you definitely want them leading in practice, number 1, right? If like Michael Jordan, the Last Dance, you look at that documentary, nobody beat him in wind sprints. He's out there practicing like he's playing basketball.
Right.
And when you have a leader that does that, guys will follow. Guys are galvanized behind that. Now, if I have a leader that is kind of like whatever and nonchalant and basically he's the leader because of his name and who he is, that's a whole different story. You're not going to have the same respect. So in order to be respected, I know Ben Johnson is doing this. He's like lock in practice, be a leader on the practice field, be a leader in walkthroughs, and that's how I want you to be a leader. Of course, you get voted by your peers, but if you can't handle that leadership role, then you'll probably get it stripped away from you at some point.
Tooch, before you share your thoughts on what you want your captains to be like, I just want to share this. I think the captains have to be guys who are on patrol. So guys are doing individual workouts. I'm not saying that, they should necessarily police them and say, did you do 5 reps or did you just do 3? Because that's something that Cole Kmet on CHGO or on a press conference complained about, that he was seeing guys not do the reps that they were doing when they were working on their own. So I would tell my captains, go when guys are working out, cheer them on. Tell them, go do another one. How many are you supposed to do? Then do another one. Do another one. And whatever to galvanize these guys into working harder than anybody else. Because if you don't work harder than anyone else, you're not going to beat anyone in this league, because there are a lot of great football players in the National Football League, and some of them have some very good coaches. And so you have to have guys who are doing that little extra, and doing it in a positive way. I totally believe in positivity. You don't coach a guy by, trying to kick him in the ass. And maybe some players only respond to that. But for the most part, being very positive. Tooch, what are your thoughts about what a captain should look like for the Chicago Bears?
Well, definitely a leader in the locker room. I think everyone says that. And I can't imagine like Cairo Santos being like this enforcer You know, it's like,
That's
come on,
right.
guys, let's go. You know, but hey,
Speaking
maybe
in
he is. I don't know.
Portuguese, you know,
Yeah.
that is funny.
But yeah, someone who's going to keep the locker room focused. You know, make sure everyone's on their game, everyone's on their assignments. You know, just keep an order in the locker room. That's my thing. And someone who leads on and off the field.
Exactly. Exactly. All right, guys, we got about I don't know, 10, 15 minutes left.
Yeah.
Zim left us.
We
He
lost
said,
Zim, huh?
Fuck this show.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little pop culture. I always
Yeah.
start with Tooch because he usually has something awesome
Yeah.
to share
I saw
with
a
us.
really good movie.
What'd you see?
It's called F1 with Brad Pitt.
Oh.
It has a really fantastic cast as well. Javier Bardem, you know him from No Country for Old Men. He played Anton Chigurh, which is classic
One of
role.
my favorite movies, man.
Mine
Dope.
too. I could watch it over and over again. You know, it's a perfect movie. And it followed the novel exactly too. If you ever read the book, it's
So
exactly.
F1 is that the Formula One?
Formula One, and you know, I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this, you know, but then I realized it's a sports movie.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, these guys are athletes, and it's like you have this whole story. You got the aging, promising race car driver when he was a kid, you know, and an injury took it away from him. He's played by Brad Pitt, you know, and he's old now, you know, he's like late 50s, you know, middle to late 50s, and his old buddy, racing buddy, Javier Bardem comes and says, "Hey, I want you to, you know, come and I got a really talented young driver. I want you to, you know, join the team and stuff. And, you know, teach him about winning and racing and all this stuff." And you get the whole thing, man. They're butting heads. It's great. There's a whole team. The dialogue is fantastic. There's some really funny stuff, you know, in it, and all the characters who are on the race team. Man, there's so many. There's so many good things in it. And then, you know, there's some real Formula One drivers like in the movie, like Max Verstappen. I forget, Leclerc is in it too. I can't remember all of the drivers and stuff, but you know, and Javier Bardem is the board of directors wants to shut it down, you know, and sell it and stuff. He'd be out of his racing company and stuff. And you know, he's such a good guy. You know, you just love him. And him and Brad Pitt have a great relationship. You know, they're old friends and stuff. And there's some great tense moments with racing and stuff. You'll love it, man. It's so good, man. I couldn't believe how good it was, man.
Did you see it at home or at the
I
theater?
watched it at home on my cord cutter. But it should be out real soon. I think Apple TV made the movie, so I imagine it'll be just a matter of time before it's on Apple TV. But man, I can't tell how good it is, man. It's filmed so excellent, man. You're in the freaking car.
Awesome.
It's so cool, man. And like, you know, wiping out the accidents and all this stuff. And there's all this drama, and then, you know, and the character that Brad Pitt plays, like his name's Sonny Hayes. It's like it's gonna be a classic character, like you know, the
it's got the classic name.
like Tin Cup McAvoy, you know, Kevin Costner, or Crash Davis from Bull Durham. You know, it's a classic character, great story.
So would you say
fantastic ending?
Would you say it's automatically in your top 10 sports movies?
I think it might be. Yeah, definitely. It's in there, man. It's so well made too, man. The story's fantastic. I mean, I didn't really know much about it, you know, but I remember we did do a little piece on it in People Magazine when I was working on that, and I was like, okay, they didn't really, you know, hype it, and I was like, you know, I'll watch it. Give it. My wife and I loved it, man. It was so good, man. If you guys get a chance, watch it. It's so good, man. And
definitely will.
Yeah, it's great, man. It's an all-time classic sports movie. You know, they're athletes, man. They're like training by these balls catching a dropping ball. You know, it's fascinating, reflexes and stuff. Yeah, it's great, man. You got to see it.
Daniken, what have you seen or heard that you want to share?
Well, I didn't see anything recently, any shows, but I just thought I would mention this, right? Because I like movie trilogies sometimes, right? So there are a lot of trilogies that have been out. So I wanted you guys' thoughts on it. What is your favorite trilogy when it comes to a movie of all time? And then I'll tell you what mine is.
Definitely Lord of the Rings for me. It's all
Really?
time. Peter Jackson, the Fellowship of the Ring all the way through. Just I could watch it over and over again, no problem. Yep.
You say the same, Zim?
I would either go with Lord of the Rings on a serious note, or like just to be a contrarian, because honestly, it is Lord of the Rings, hands down. Clerks. The Clerks trilogy is wonderful. The third movie specifically, like
very
not
funny.
particularly like an all-timer. The first one's a cult classic. The second one is just a raunchy because we can kind of movie. And the third one like really brings it around and makes it a great story. I watched it back in February in a hotel room. And I mean, I found myself crying at the end of the movie, which like for a Kevin Smith film, particularly for a Kevin Smith Jay and Silent Bob film, is not a very common occurrence. So yeah, it was very, very well done.
Nice. Okay.
Good
Kevin
stuff.
Smith's a great writer and director though. So I mean,
He is. I really enjoy his work. A guy who came from independent filmmaking and made it big. Man, my trilogies, this is really tough. I think the majority of people who are big film fans would say the Lord of the Rings trilogy because all three films were equally good. But I have to go with the Dark Knight trilogy, the Christopher Nolan
Also
films.
really good, yep.
I mean, I was just blown away, particularly part 2 and 3. The first one was good, the origin story, but part 2 with Heath Ledger playing the Joker, that opening scene when they're ripping off that bank and filmed in 70 millimeter IMAX. I saw it in the theater. It rocketed me. The score throughout has this level of tension that was fantastic. What's her name? Anne Hathaway looked really hot in that goddamn cat suit and stuff. And then the third movie was equally as good. That finale, spoiler alert, that finale when Alfred, the butler, sees that Bruce Wayne is alive and is dating Catwoman. That was just so good. And then you get the shot of the boy Wonder elevating. I mean, that was just fucking phenomenal filmmaking. I loved it. And I also have to give kudos to the Godfather trilogy. I know part 3 is damned by so many people, but I think that part 3 isn't as bad. But even if you think it's bad, the first 2 are so goddamn good. It just erases any bad feeling. Exactly. And I gotta give a shout out to my man Daniken. I know he's a Star Wars fan. That middle trilogy, the first 3 movies of the Star Wars, as much as I complain about them, that was a good trilogy. That Back to the Future trilogy was also good.
Well, you want to talk about a real fall off on a third movie.
Oh, yes. All the Western turned into a Western. What the hell? All right, Danica, what do you got for us? That's a great topic.
Mine is what yours was, Aldo.
Okay.
The Dark Knight. I love The Dark Knight, man. That movie, the whole trilogy was really good. And what stood out to me about The Dark Knight is that they were really long movies. They didn't seem like it.
Yep.
That's
it didn't
fair.
seem like it, right? Like it didn't seem like it because you were engaged in that movie.
Yeah.
From beginning to end, in all 3 of them. Particularly 2 and 3, of course, but number 1 was really good as well. But yeah, Dark Knight has been my favorite trilogy since it came out, really.
The one thing about those films, those Christopher Nolan, who has proven to be just one of the greatest
all time.
of all time filmmakers. Yes. What was the one that he just won an Oscar for? Oppenheimer. I mean, fantastic. Everything he's done is fantastic. But those particular movies, there was just a propulsion of the plot. The plot is always moving forward. There's no, I'm sure he probably shot some scenes. He says it's not moving the story plot lines, and he took them out of the movie. And then again, the score by Hans Zimmer is just effing phenomenal, man. Yeah, I listen to it sometimes when I'm at home working. I just put the soundtrack on. I love that soundtrack. I love a couple of other movies that were composed by Ennio Morricone, Once Upon a Time in America, and the spaghetti westerns and stuff.
Yep.
But what's his name? Hans Zimmer with his work on Batman was phenomenal shit, man.
It was cast right too. You had the right cast of characters.
Yes.
Like all of the characters matched their roles perfectly. In my
Yes.
I mean, from Batman to Joker to Bane to everybody that was involved in the movie was just, it was phenomenal, man. It's my favorite.
I'm with
The
you.
Dark
man.
Knight Rises is an all-time classic.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. The guy that played the commissioner,
Gary Oldman.
Gary Oldman. Yes, perfect casting.
One of our greatest actors.
Michael Caine, before he passed away, played Alfred. Yeah,
Michael Caine's still alive.
Oh,
don't curse the poor man.
Put the man in the dirt.
Damn, I'm sorry.
He's like 93, I think, but he's still alive.
Wow. I could have sworn I saw a story that he died a few years ago.
I thought so too. Let me see.
I don't think so.
No, it says he's still alive, 92 years old, retired in 2023.
Mark my words.
All those already put him in the grave.
Yes, mark my words. That motherfucker's gonna drop that tonight.
Tomorrow. Yeah.
And you guys are gonna blame me.
Dead.
Outstanding. All right, guys. I think this is a good time to pull the plug. Before we do, I want to go around the horn and get your predictions for the Monday night Bears Vikings game at Soldier Field. Give me a score and give me a little bit about how you think the game is going to unfold. Zim, you look ready to jump into action here, so you go first.
24-10 Bears.
Okay.
JJ throws to JJ in the end zone, intercepted by JJ, and it's going the other way.
Well said. I like that.
That's pretty much all I got. I think
got?
it's too big a stage for McCarthy. I really do. I think he is poised to absorb some of this Caleb Williams debate, for all of them to say, wow, we were really worried about Caleb Williams, but maybe we were looking at the wrong guy here. I don't know. And I don't have a lot of faith in the kid. And maybe I'm wrong for that. Maybe he'll prove me wrong, but I just no. Three touchdowns. I don't know how they're going to get them. Probably one on the ground, two in the air, I'd guess. And I genuinely think Cole Kmet scores a touchdown.
So he'll get more than 4.5 yards.
Well, maybe not. It might be from the 1 yard line.
1 yard.
I mean, there's my prop play of the week. Cole Kmet anytime TD score.
1 yard catch.
Outstanding. What do you got, Daniken?
I'm gonna ride with the Bears. I'm gonna go 27-17. 27-17. I think this is a game where the Bears offense looks decent at times. They're gonna have some hiccups along the way as well, but they're gonna look decent. And I believe that defensively, if they get after JJ McCarthy and they make it difficult for him, you can really mess with his psyche. I'm saying just, it's his first game. It's a rival. It's on the road. Bears 27-17. JJ McCarthy has a difficult time, and he has a monkey on his back for his whole career in Minnesota.
Wow, look at that, Tooch. What do you got?
Man, I really got to think about this one.
That was a good trilogy.
That's right. It was a good trilogy. The Hangover trilogy. Right. Speaking of trilogies, Danica. Man, I really want to take an under on this one, but I think there'll be some scoring. It's Monday night, and I don't think. I mean, that the Viking defense is tough. They're going to put pressure on Caleb, and how he responds to the pressure is going to be key. But Vegas has the line at 43.5, so I'm going to say 24-20 Bears. I think they're not ready. I mean, look, they're already talking about they're going back to look and see what Ben Johnson did in Detroit to game plan. I mean, when you're already doing that, this is a whole new team, whole new people, personnel. So I think that this is a great chance with Justin Jefferson, a little gimpy, no Jordan Addison, J.J. McCarthy making his first NFL start on Soldier Field. It is the opportunity is there for the Bears to take this first win. After that, it doesn't get easier. It gets harder going on the road to Detroit. So I'm going to say the Bears get this victory 24-20.
All right, I'm going to finish up by saying that the Bears are going to win in a game that will go down as one of the greatest games in Chicago Bears history, 38-9. And the reason that I feel so good about this is because of Ben Johnson's familiarity with the defense, the Vikings defense. He's faced them multiple times and had success. I think that his playbook that the Vikings are going to face is going to be different than what they face with Ben Johnson, who's OC for the Lions. He's just coming up with stuff that's more suitable for the staff, or not the staff, but the roster that he has. And so there's going to be a huge element of surprise. I think that it's just going to quickly get out of control. You guys are right. I don't have faith in J.J. McCarthy. I think this big stage is going to be a little too much for him. I think this has all of the makings of a blowout win for the Chicago Bears that will have us talking about this team and the national media talking about this team like they could be the next coming of the 85 Bears, which they won't be. They won't be, but this victory on Monday Night Football is going to be so huge that, and by the way, I'm printing up some T-shirts, and I want to send to all of you guys. Monsters of the Big Play. No, not that.
What? No regrets, Aldo.
No regrets, no. Monsters of the Big Play. Do you like the sound of that?
I like that.
Yeah.
We're going to get a big plays on
Monsters
defense.
of
We're gonna
the Big Play.
Yes.
What was that score again you were giving out?
38-9.
Because although things don't need to fake it, he already made it. He's the man with the plan, but to you, he's the Pod Father, Part 2.
Yeah, the Pod Father.
Thank you. Nobody's ever made a video for me. Thank you, Tooch. That is so good. People are asking about key matchups. D. Starren wants to know what the key matchups in this game are. Daniken, what do you got?
I would say the key matchups in this game is, once again, it's going to be the defensive line for me. The defensive line. Just get after him, man. Get after the guy. Just make his life difficult. Make everything hard. Like, everybody's been watching Bears games for the past 3 or 4 years, right? The Bears have had an offensive situation where everything that they've done offensively for the last 5 years has looked like an arduous task.
Yes.
Make that J.J. McCarthy's life. That's what I want to see. I want to see everything be difficult. If he has some success, he overcame some type of difficult situation to get it. So make it difficult. That's the matchup that I want to see. I want to see pressure on the quarterback. I want to see the defensive line make our secondary look better because they don't have to run around and cover Justin Jefferson for 8 seconds, right? Get after him. That's the matchup I want to see.
Zem, what are you thinking? You got a key matchup?
I definitely agree. It's their O line versus our D line. It's a matter of what kind of pass rush we can generate. You got Ryan Kelly and Will Freese, who have history together, I believe, in
Indianapolis
together, right? Going against their former teammate on that D line in Dio Adengbo. They're going to know how to block him. So it's a matter of whether Grady Jarrett and Jervon Dexter can do their job on the interior to allow the exterior guys, the edge guys, to get those one-on-one matchups, to win their one-on-one matchups, particularly against with Montez Sweat going up against their right tackle. I don't know what to expect, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
So that's a
who is
really
the-
really big matchup. Because I'm not as worried about their offensive line against about their defensive line against our offensive line as I normally would be. This interior is just so much better, and I truly believe in the scheme helping to get the ball out quickly enough that they're going to have to get there quick if they plan on sacking Caleb, because Caleb has that creation ability. He'll probably still take a sack or two, honestly, if we're being realistic, but it's about what he does on the other 58 snaps, you know?
Yeah, exactly. We'll put Tooch, you got a thought you want to share?
I got a few matchups. I mean, we're going to have to watch the Vikings pass rushers, like Jonathan Grenard, Javon Hargrave, and Andrew Van Ginkel against, Braxton Jones, who's looked susceptible to the inside move, the quick pass rush. We already had the questions about, the anchor, but now, the first half against the Chiefs was rough for Braxton. But he hopefully shores that up before Monday. Then Caleb Williams versus Harrison Smith. That's he's always lurking out there. He always seems to come up with the big play interception off Bears quarterbacks. I know he's questionable. Van Ginkel's questionable as well. And then Bears defensive line against the Vikings offensive line. Have to win the battle in the trenches.
Yeah, I mean, Ben Johnson said today that they have guys on that defense. They could have 3 or 4 guys that will get double-digit sacks. So, Zim, when you say that the defensive line doesn't scare you, I understand what you're saying, because they've got to prove it. Guys like Dallas Turner, first-round draft pick in 2024. A lot of people were thinking he might come to the Bears and be an excellent speed rusher. Well, he went to the Vikings, and he didn't have the rookie season people expected or wanted. But Ben Johnson said today he could, turn out to be that player. Yeah, I'm paraphrasing, of course. But, so they're game planning for those pass rushers. The Van Ginkels, I think, is a great name that you brought up, Tooch. He was following Caleb around pretty closely in that game at Soldier Field. I don't think he ever got a sack, but he was disrupting stuff. So so it's not going to be an easy game, but I do believe that the Bears are going to get off to a quick start, and it's going to be one of those avalanche games where just things for the Vikings, things are going to go wrong. They got the wrong quarterback in there to come from behind. He's going to press. Defense might get a score or two, and so I'm. I know I sound like a meathead fan here, but I really do think that the chances are good that we could come away with a blowout win. and then win 16 more games.
17-0 from there.
Yeah. That guy actually looks like a family member of mine.
I love it.
Y'all imagine if the Bears win 38-9, this game 38-9?
Oh man.
Super Bowl.
That's right.
We won't be talking about Caleb's socks, Daniken.
That's right. Where's the Super Bowl this year? Is it down in Miami? Anybody know?
It's New Orleans, isn't it?
Yeah, right. It's in New Orleans. Yeah.
I think. I'm not sure.
I think you're right.
They get it like every 4 years, don't they?
Yeah, they get it.
Or is it Arizona?
Zim should know if it's in Arizona. Next got to spell them right. Next Super Bowl locations. All right, so we got Levi Stadium in 2016. So Levi is the San Francisco, right?
Mm-hmm.
Santa Clara. It's in Santa Clara, home of the 49ers this year?
That's correct.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, because New Orleans was last year.
Yeah, last year was New Orleans. Thank
remember
you,
Little crying.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because he didn't perform.
All right, this is a perfect way to end the show. We're talking about the Super Bowl and making Super Bowl reservations and stuff in San Francisco. Danny can tell people where they can find the Three Kings podcast.
You can find it anywhere you find your podcast. We are on, and we're on everything from Spotify to Apple, whatever. If you listen to it on Amazon, go ahead and do it. Man, please do it. Like, subscribe, comment. We take the good and the bad. I don't give a care. I don't care. Give me the good. Give me the bad. My name is Daniken. I don't care.
There you go. I love it. Tooch, weekend sports betting. Weekend sports betting tips
On
Friday.
Friday. We're talking a little college football week 2 and NFL week 1.
And then fantasy football goon.
Fantasy football goon on Sunday. Barfly tailgate on Sunday. Yep. I got a full schedule, Aldo.
Yes, you do. You're the fucking hardest working guy at the bar room. Zim, what's going on with you, man?
You're looking at it.
I feel bad for you, bro.
No, man, catch me next week. I'll be here. Same time, same place.
Are you doing anything on Sunday with the fantasy guys?
Not this week, I don't believe. Possibly next week. I'm on a fill-in basis this week, what with my work schedule and my family schedule. I'm trying to take as much time with the family as I can. So I've also altered my work schedule, so I'm working pretty I shouldn't say pretty late, but I'm gonna be working late nights on Saturdays. So I gotta wake up early if I'm gonna do the fantasy football show. That's all.
No shit. Danigan, how's your fantasy team look like?
I was actually doing a draft today, but I did my other draft on Monday. My team looks awesome, pretty good. I think I got Justin Jefferson. Unfortunately, I won't play him this week.
You're not gonna play him?
No, I'm not gonna play him. I can't play him. I don't think JJ McCarthy's gonna have a good game. You see, you got to go by matchups. You got to go by what you really believe.
Yeah.
It's not that he's playing the Bears. I just don't think that JJ McCarthy is gonna have as good of a game. So I got other guys that I can play. You know what I mean?
That's good thinking. All right, everybody, this is it. If you have a final word that you want to say, do it now. Forever hold your peace.
Fuck ESPN and what they're doing to Red Zone.
Oh, the commercials?
Yeah.
There's literally no point. I do not watch Red Zone because I want to watch football. I watch Red Zone because I don't want to watch commercials.
Exactly.
I will not be watching Red Zone this year.
Well, and it's not ESPN's decision. They sent out a statement today to frontofficesports.com saying ESPN has nothing to do with this decision because the deal isn't finalized yet. And so NFL media is still running it. This was something NFL media actually started experimenting with last season.
Yeah,
so
they did. And we all bitched about it then.
Yeah, it's going to be the football games will still be on the screen, but the audio and video of the commercial is going to play, and it'll probably happen like 10 times during that 5-6 hour period.
Yeah, that's awesome for NFL. I hope they're making a lot of money off of that because they won't be making money off of subscribers.
More money, NFL, milking it. Hold on.
I genuinely,
that's exactly what it is.
I'm going back to school this semester, and so I get a sweet student discount on NFL package and whatnot. And I was genuinely considering getting it just for Red Zone so that I could kind of keep it on in the background. Will not be doing that at this point. Absolutely not. I'm not paying for something that's going to advertise to me. That's the entire point of paying for the subscription.
That's been one of the great robberies of the 21st century is that stuff that was free television, and free meaning that we had to sit through commercials, but we didn't have to pay anybody to get it. Now we have to pay to get the show, and they're still making the money from the commercials. That's robbery. And the government should get involved in that. But
it's like, don't they make enough money off the Super Bowl commercials anyway?
Of course they do.
I mean, let's be real.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That pisses me off, Zim. Why'd you bring that up?
Because I think it's an important topic that needed to be addressed.
And you did. And
ESPN will once they get full control,
they're just going to make it worse.
They'll make it worse. Yes.
ESPN.
They're already used to the commercials.
Yes.
I saw something today that I couldn't agree more with, and it's ESPN went in my lifetime from being my favorite thing about my childhood to being the most hated thing in my adulthood. And like that might be a little extreme, but as far as TV network goes, it's absolutely true.
It is. It is. I used to love ESPN. I'd wake up and watch it every single morning while I was getting ready for school.
Yeah.
Every morning. ESPN, I'm watching SportsCenter, and it's running on a loop, basically.
I'm watching baseball tonight and SportsCenter before bed every night, man.
Yep.
Looking forward to those web gems, every night. And now it's absolutely ruined. by, you got Stephen A in the mornings and white Stephen A in the afternoons. What the fuck's his name? Pat McAfee. Like they're the same guy, and that's all you see. It's just those two fucking babbling idiots all day long.
Where is Loveland going in drafts? I noticed him going like
11th
12th,
round.
11th round. Yeah.
Man, I was in the draft. He went like 7.
Really?
Yeah, he's gone high in a few drafts.
Yeah, I don't see why he should go up that high.
I don't
Yeah,
see.
I don't
don't see why he's getting.
It's a
In
dynasty.
Dynasty, it makes perfect sense. I don't see why he's getting drafted and Cole Kmet is still available in something like 85% of leagues.
Yeah.
If you need a tight end, go pick up Cole Kmet. He will not
Definitely.
disappoint you this year.
Yep. It's going to take a while, I think, for us to see Colston Loveland, surpass Cole Kmet in terms of receptions and targeting and so forth. But Vegas sometimes knows more than others, so maybe they got some inside
4.5 yards. That's it. I might have to throw down on that.
You got to. Hard rock.
He's not even available to bet on FanDuel. So
Take my money, DraftKings. No regrets, Aldo.
I don't want to see that T-shirt again. All right, everybody. Great show, guys. Daddy can teach Zim, and thank you, Fitz, for your restaurant review and your input on the Bears. And thank you, everybody that joined us live, and for those who will be joining us later on demand. Thank you all very much. We'll see you here next week talking about the Bears' 38-9 victory and how smart I am.
Super Bowl.
That's right.